page. It comes out of Aldo's page every time. So
hi, we're live. What's up, people?
Ooh, look at the graphics. Our little CGs are different.
It's because there's only 2 of us this time. So here, I'll play this while we tweet it out.
Rebuild of the favorites. We here for the latest. South side or the north side. Not tuned to the greatest. Home team for the home teams. Both sides got our own rings. On the mound or the long ball. But we don't put the wrong strings. Yeah. It's that time of the year now. Wrigley or a guarantee. So the whole league that we hear now. New show with a new mood. Discussions and interviews. Trade rumors that might be. This is Pinwheels and Knife.
Yours is on delay, dude.
I'm delayed. I'm trying to. I can't. This is why we need Aldo.
Yep.
You hear that? It's an actual echo. This is why we need Aldo. Yep. Son of a bitch. It's an actual echo. Oh, here we go. Okay, no, or not. What the living poop?
Hi guys. Yeah, this is what happens
when Aldo leaves the house.
Yep.
Oh, there it is. Oh, there's the button. Hey guys.
Hello everybody. This is the Pinwheels and Ivy podcast. This is what happens when Aldo is moving and
we have to
do this ourselves. Yeah, we have to act like grown. Yeah. That is
it's hard enough.
There we go.
There we go. That's much better. There we go. That's the shot.
That's the view we want. Yep.
Okay, here we go. Now I found it.
Okay. We're live, people. Fucking let's do it live. So as you can notice, Aldo's not here today. Aldo is in the middle of a move. So you're stuck with me and Farmer Ted here. Makeup table going strong as always. Feeling good about it today. Got a little concoction I made.
There we go. It's out now.
I thought it was.
You made a concoction?
Yeah.
Like what? So when you say concoction, what did you mix? What did you do?
I opened my fridge and saw that I had Tito's vodka and Red Bull. So
it's a very nice concoction.
Put them together.
A mixologist, even.
Yeah. So, and actually, we got some breaking news here. We're going to address at the top of the show.
Oh wait,
no, I'd be in a way better mood if it was. So yeah, let's just get into it. Although you can start the podcast recording now. 3, 2, 1. What's going on, everybody? It is Friday, March 12th, and you have found the Pinwheels and Ivy podcast. I am your host, Southside Zoe, a.k.a. Matt Sawaski, a.k.a. Father Zoe. And with me, as always, is my guy, the good Reverend KFidds, Kevin Fiddler. What's going on, buddy?
What's up? I feel like our parents have left for like a week's vacation, and they left the keys to the brand new Porsche. I mean, would they mind? Well, of course
He'll
not.
Keep calling me.
I'll just take it for a little spin and maybe show it off to a couple of friends.
Me. I'll go. He'll keep calling me. But yeah, as you notice, the third leg of the tripod is not with us today. The homie Aldo Soto.
With the two nuts, he's kind of never mind.
Yep. And that's actually, I'm sure he wouldn't argue that either. Aldo is taking care of some business. He's in the middle of a move, which is always exciting. He wanted me to tell everybody everything's good. Everybody's doing well. He's just got shit he's got to do, and he doesn't have a couple hours to just listen to me and this idiot talk. So that's why, yeah.
I'm giving, really.
That's fair. Like, I'm actually surprised Aldo's made it this far. I love you, Aldo. We have a lot to talk about. We have spring training baseball galore. Fucking Jock Peterson is tearing the cover off the ball.
Oh, it hurts.
Nico's hitting well. And then on the south side, this Ethan Catch train is like fully woo-woo. Like, people are pumped. And then we actually have some breaking White Sox news that is happening as we're recording this. It's coming out. And we're going to get into that in just a minute. I have to drink because I just had Jock Peterson. And with all that being said, let's tap this keg. As always, this show is brought to you by PointsBet. Make sure you're downloading the app using promo code Pinwheels to get all their promotional offerings It is the beginning of the craziness that happens in March. We were told we can't say the actual term because it's patented. So the crazy stuff that involves basketball that happens in March is about to begin. Conference tournaments are already started. So make sure you're downloading the app, getting all your bets in. They got a lot of fun baseball futures bets. You're also able to points bet. Its user interface is fantastic. As someone that works in the field, I think it's the best one out of the big three. Well, four now in Illinois. So make sure you're going March Wildness. We'll go with that. I like that, Willie. March Wildness. The Wilds of March. And yeah,
Ooh.
points bet. Download it. Use promo code Pinwheels. So let's start with this right now because it's kind of pissing me off. So Don Cooper, out of nowhere, is on 670 to score right now, basically having a pity party. Hold on, I'm gonna pull up the exact quotes here.
Oh,
yeah,
this is the old pitching coach, right? He's cool.
Yeah, the pitching coach for 100 years on the White Sox,
who is already getting gamed by a fantastic young pitching coach that made it from the high school ranks all the way up.
Right. I didn't even put that together. That I talked about Ethan Katz before the promo, but anyways. He's on the Parkins and Spiegel show on 670 Score here in Chicago. This is exact quote. I spent more than half my life with the White Sox. It's not fun when people you look up to, admire, and care for don't do the same for you. It's not fun. And then Danny Parkins goes, who didn't care for you? And Cooper's answer was obviously no one.
Wow.
And then he continues he goes on to say, it's unfortunate. The bottom line is it hurt. When you're no longer part of something, it hurts. But I'm over that hurt, and trust me that I've moved on. I'm living my life. I knew the end would come. I knew that. That's the long and short of it when it comes to my statement about the White Sox. That's all I got. And then, wow, he goes deep, dude. Hold on. I'm going to get to the and then Parkins is a very good interviewer, by the way. If you guys ever listen to Parkins Spiegel show, actually, I'm very happy those two are back together, but they're both very good at their job when it comes to interviewing. Parkins definitely, he gets in there, man. He'll dig in there for sure. But they asked him what he thought about Steve Stone saying Cooper's last couple of years were hard. He said the hard years were playing in the American League and not having enough talent to compete, going through the rebuild. That's pain. And then finally on the mutual parting of ways with the White Sox, because that's how they addressed it. Here's where you cut through the crap. We no longer want you to do what you're doing. You're gone. You're out. And that's okay. I don't want to be somewhere where I'm no longer wanted. Okay. Timeout right here, Don. Mm-hmm. Getting fired sucks. And when you're in this position for this long of a time, it's basically like you got a divorce. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's been with the White Sox, but how many bad years did Cooper have that he just got a pass and was like, because of the new regime or the new coach or whatever? Don Cooper was with the White Sox for an astonishing long time, and a lot of it was just living off the merit of that 2005 season. And that 2005 staff did things that were incredible, especially in that playoff run. I don't know if you guys have heard about it, but yeah, they did some things. Ask a White Sox fan. They might want to talk about 2005. I don't know. You might have to twist their arm. But that was an incredible run. But Don Cooper was with the team from 2002 to 2020. That's 18 years in the same job in professional sports. That's almost unfathomable right now. And it was because 05 happened his third year, and he rode that train. And that's fine. I like Don Cooper. I've said this on the show a couple times. I've had beers with Don Cooper. He's a hell of a guy. Tells great stories. Lets people wear his rings. He's a good dude. But it was time. I don't want to say the game passed him up because he probably has more knowledge in his head about baseball than he's probably forgotten more things than I'll ever know. But
here's my question too. And this is the thing, as a coach myself, you understand that this is the job, this is the business that you're in, this is why you're doing it, but you also understand that there is an axe that hovers over your head every single day of your job. And if you don't do your job, you know that axe is going to come. And here's more. Since 2002, how many pitchers has he told, sorry, son, it just isn't working out. We're going to be in a different direction, and moved on with his own damn life. If you're a coach and you've done that once, guess what? It's going to be done to you. It comes back. Okay. So the Crimey River. Did you hear Ricky whining about? No. Did you hear some of these? No, man.
Ricky
it's just time.
You know,
it was stale, and there's a younger guy that has a good opportunity to come up and be something special. Look, how about this? How about you be a good, person that works, in the same industry with someone, say, well, it didn't work out for me, but man, Katz is doing a fucking hell of a job. Let's give the kid some credit. He in a short time, he's established a lot of credibility with some of these pitchers. You can say that and not be like a bitter sour grapes. There's a thing, again, class never goes out of style, and everybody shows you their true class in these moments. How you say goodbye tells you everything about the person's character. Period.
Dude, that's A+ bring up about Ricky. Dude, Ricky got
twice,
basically fucked over, not once, but twice. Same city, same scenario, same city. And you know what? He handled both times with a ridiculous amount of class publicly. Who knows? He could be in his house right now, like breaking shit, like still mad. But should publicly, okay. Yeah, I mean, he has every right to be mad.
It's different. That's a totally different place.
But it was time for Cooper to move. Part of this rebuild was moving forward, and so far Katz is doing a phenomenal job. I sent you that article that Sox Machine did, putting Ray Lowe's mechanics from last year to this year side by side. His arm, his hitchback, where he's delivered, everything's different, and you're seeing results. Hopefully he's throwing tonight, so we'll see some of it tonight. And for those of you, thank you all for giving me the Dylan Cease update. He is pitching Monday versus the Cubs. He did a live BP session. He's pitching right now to Grandal. So yeah. And Ricky turned, because you know what, Alex, in our comment section, again, you should watch us live on Thursday nights.
Different.
Everything changed. I think they updated shit. Ricky turned down interview requests after the firing. I'd be pissed too, dude. If I got screwed over in my job twice, I wouldn't try to go and interview for another sales job. I'd be like, fuck sales. I'm going to go be a janitor somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, I'm not doing this again, and Ricky has a ton of money.
He got burned out. It's time.
And he was well compensated for the job he did. He made a good living. He could take a couple years off. Who knows? He might pop back up as from the media. Oh, that makes more sense.
Oh, gotcha.
I still wouldn't want to talk about it. Have a couple of beers. Yeah.
But I'll tell you this too. But the same with Ricky though too. Having been on that side of it, I've been fired as a head coach before. And having been on that side of it, you process things. You shouldn't jump right into something else. I actually made the mistake probably of jumping immediately into a different program. I got a job offer the next day and I took it. I mean, I was like, oh, hell yeah, Green Valley High School. That's awesome. They've won 8 state titles. I'm in. And I didn't take any time for myself, and I made that mistake. And I was, during my 2-year run there, I was ready. I was transferred to Silverado at the 2 years. I was burned out, and I didn't take the time for myself. I didn't you got dumped. And Coop, what you do is you do it in private though. You get dumped in private. You go through the process of grieving in private. You don't put it out there. You don't do interviews till you're ready to do interviews. And you don't do them on a knee-jerk reaction. And Coop sounds like he's going out there to make sure he's dropping all of his, he's letting it rip, like he's like, woe is me. It sounds like someone that's bitching and crying instead of saying, I didn't get it done. Let's get my next job. Let's go. I'll go prove you guys wrong somewhere else. He sounds like someone that's, woe is me. And, as a dude that you respect, you don't want to hear a guy going, you want him to say, all right, cool. And you want the Rick Vaughn attitude. You know what? You cut me. I'm going to take this ball. I'm going to shove it up. And you go. And you know what? You kick the sand off your heels and you move on. I don't. It takes time. It takes time. You don't do interviews till you're ready. I mean, that's probably his biggest mistake, was being out there this soon.
I don't think Cooper's going to get the reaction he's trying to get by doing the woe is me thing. I have nothing but the utmost respect for Don Cooper. I think Don Cooper was a fantastic coach when he was with the White Sox. He was with the organization for 32 years, 18 as the pitching coach. He survived 4 different managers. He put together one of arguably the best 05 playoff pitching runs we'll ever see. Not only just that year, like we'll ever see, with the complete games and only losing one. But I get it. I understand why Parkins brought him on the show. I understand, the interview, but I don't know. It sucks to hear this, man. It really does. I guess I'm more just bummed that it's going down like this. But, Coop's not a young guy, and, he's probably just reflecting back, and he's a little salty that he lost his job. So I get it. I don't know. It's just I don't know. I don't know what I expect. I don't expect him to come out and be like, it could have been like, you know what, it sucked. But like you said, he could have easily just been like, it sucked. But you know what, Coach Katz is doing a hell of a job. Like, I don't know. I don't want to put words in the guy's mouth. It's a shitty situation, but it is what it is. But look at you tweeting out live tweets.
I'm doing it. And Aldo he gave me the "You better behave" claymation gif, so I'm like, oh, better do this right.
But yeah, that's about it for me with Coop. You hope that everything ends the right way, but it sounds like the White Sox are ready to move on, and Coop wasn't, and he's a little bummed about it.
It was time.
But he's doing a little therapy session, but his therapy just happens to be on the biggest sports radio station in Chicago.
And Mr. Hand makes a good point. I mean, there's rumors that somebody was possibly a little too open sometimes in private to other people. Mm-hmm. Again, you talk about character reflections. Like, you got to hold it. If he'd held it together just for a little bit longer, that might have gone away. But now it makes it look like he was that guy that when it doesn't go his way, he goes and talks to somebody out of response.
I mean, there's theories and there's things I've never been provided with hard facts, so I don't want to go down that road because again,
there were soft facts.
I've met Cooper a couple times and he was always cool to me, so that's usually how I go off my judgments of people. So it is what it is.
It does suck, and you know what? And Matty Mitch says it right. It sucks to be there through the rebuild and not get the payoff. Crimea River, Ricky Renteria, 2 rebuilds. Both he's not going to get a shot to be a part of the payoff. One was already a World Series championship. One he's going to get 2 of those. So Coop can Crimea River. Go get your diaper, pal. I'm done with it. Ricky should have more to bitch about, even if it's an 18-year time. I'm sorry. You get booted right before 2 different possible title runs. One official title run, and now one that's probably going to be a title run. Mm-hmm. Shit. And the dude takes it like class. Coop. Look. You get a nice comparison. Here's how one person handles it. Here's how another person handles it. You can choose how you like it and what you think of them.
And I mean, if I'm Coop, man, I'm chilling, dude. Like, dude probably made almost $1 million a year for the last 18 years. Like, I get it. Yeah, Buzz, a friend of ours, Buzz from the On Tap, he put in the comment section, I understand his point. I just don't agree with how it went. And that's pretty much where I'm at, man. Like, it sucks that it's unfolding like this, but be like Hawk and drink, Coop. I think he's got that covered, bud. Yeah, I think that's covered. I'm going to move on because I'm going to start talking in circles about this. I don't want to just keep repeating myself.
So what did you think about that interview with Coop on the radio?
Yeah, right.
Oh shit, we covered that. All right.
Yep. It's just
what else? I am still. Mailman Jack asks the question: am I still working on these Busch lattes? I bought a 30-pack because they only come in 30 packs. So yeah, I'm sitting here trying. Yeah, I mean, last week I whittled into my giant tower of cans that collapsed on the air. That was fun. And then that was I get rid of a few. I don't think I'm gonna go as ham tonight. I have a few craft brews in the fridge though, waiting for me.
There you go. Well, shit. We'll start with the White Sox. That's the big thing out of the White Sox, though. I guess speaking of Coop, the White Sox pitching has looked really good during the spring training. Jesus, sorry guys, spring training.
John, that's okay.
I feel like that was your thought process at that moment.
It was, dude. It was so hard to get the damn kid to sleep.
My girlfriend says the same thing.
Yeah. But the pitching looks good. And so when I say the pitching looks good, it's from the people that are going to actually make the major league roster. Some of these other chaps that are going out there and throwing the ball, not looking good. The only pitcher that I was hopeful for for this season that has disappointed me so far in spring training has been Zach Birdie. Bro, he had a terrible. He walked two straight batters. Mike Wright ain't making the damn team. He walked two straight dudes, and Cats came out and talked to him. And I forgot which announcer, because they've been doing these YouTube broadcasts and different people are announcing, but someone goes, yeah, he's definitely going to just pipe one down the middle this first pitch because he's nervous. He left and he threw a 91 mile an hour fastball right down the middle to Corey Seager, and he put it in fucking New Mexico. And everyone was just like, yep, saw that coming. Birdie looks like he's struggling a little bit out there, but the good news about that is the White Sox bullpen is deep, very, very deep.
So deep it put her ass to sleep?
Yeah, I would say it's that deep.
Oh,
yeah, Birdie was a fence guy. I was a big fan of his. I was really excited, but the pitchers that matter, I shouldn't say matter, the pitchers that are making the major league team, we had the game earlier this week where it was we'll start with the big one, the Michael Kopech, debut for this spring, came out, and it was good. It was real good. Like your boy Zoe went out and had a cigarette after that inning. It was that good. Yeah, it was that good.
You fired up a heater.
I fired up a heater.
How long has it been since you fired up a heater?
Since my kid was born.
Oh.
So I'm just kidding.
Judge you with judging eyes, and now every time you gaze into him, he's going to look at you.
There was other stuff going on that day, but yeah, I definitely fired up a heater.
Crap. Billy's here.
That's my guy. Billy, you're welcome here any day, buddy, because you can't.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because you can't comment penis pics.
At least our chat room, you can say whatever you want in here, Billy. You're good.
You can't get banned here.
We won't ban you in here.
But yeah, Kopech came out, dude. Kopech's throwing him 98 miles an hour on the gun. The big thing that I liked was he was painting corners. But the thing that I noticed was he always had a slider, but he was working in a curveball. And yeah, buddy, that curveball was hitting like 98 to 79. That is a pretty sick drop off there if you're able to work that. So yeah, I was very happy to see Michael Kopech come out throwing darts, look good, very calm, collected, ready to go. And yeah, Michael Kopech, ladies and gentlemen, saying all the right things about accepting the role as a reliever. And then we hopefully saw what we'll see a lot of in the upcoming season was the next inning. Garrett Crochet came out. And Crochet got himself in a little bit of trouble and then got out of a little bit of trouble. It was great to see. He didn't work too much with runners on last year, so it was good to see how he handled the situation like that. He got his double play. Sox going to have their own version of the Nasty Boys. I know. It's going to be fantastic. That's actually – someone tell Dick the Knife on Twitter to make that picture happen. But yeah, the big thing too was Crochet threw a slurve, curve, whatever you want to call it, that made me have to go back and change my pants because that was ridiculous too. Because the batter just stood there and looked at the ump and looked at Crochet like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what am I supposed to do with that, dude? That was going to hit me in the face. And
the funny part is the fact that you shit your pants watching it from television. How do you think that poor hitter felt when his knees buckled like a Phillip Rivers bolo? I don't know. I got nothing. So wait,
time out. You had nothing and you went with Phillip Rivers bolo?
That's the first thing that came to mind. It's a belt, right? Isn't there a belt on there? Or there's a buckle. There's a buckle on there.
A bolo's the
yeah, there's a buckle, right?
Really tight. Yeah.
I don't know. I need a ruling on that, but probably not. It was just really stupid. But that pitch was ridiculous. Like, I personally am going to start calling him Captain Hook. I don't know.
Well, I'm going to take
a crochet hook.
We have a phenomenal comment section worth its weight in watching our show live, but that's where the Nasty Boys came from. And where's this one? Well, saying he'll be back. Wait, Jesus, you guys are commenting there. This is the one I was looking for.
No, not the one Billy saying that his kids are settling something on fire.
Copic and Crochet
some sort of negotiation.
Equal Boner Jams 2000. Got my box of porn. Fine, you're not going to get Boner Jams 2000.
Good reference right there.
Yes, but
yeah, that crochet hook is 100% Wilt. That's the snark. That's a shirt. That's a shirt.
I got very excited. So now you got Copic, Crochet, Bummer, Hendrix, here. The bullpen is gross. Like, we don't even need to talk about the bullpen anymore. I don't think I've ever felt more just our bullpen's sick. You know, everybody loves rankings. Everybody loves, Evan Marshall. Fuck, dude. So the bullpen, everybody loves rankings. Everybody loves top 10 list, all this shit. I don't even give a fuck. Like, rank it 29. You're dumb. It's the best bullpen in baseball. Fight me. You'll lose. It's the best bullpen.
That's a loss.
Yeah. But it's just good to know that we have a good starting rotation with a great bullpen. So I'm just good. I'm just good. Matty Mitch says Foster. Oh, fuck, I forgot about Foster too. God damn it. This bullpen's stacked. Foster, Marshall, and Raylo round out the bullpen. But wait. Raylo might be the fifth starter. So that's a good transition. There's a big buzz. Big buzz, not Buzz from On Tap, even though love you, little bro, but
he's not very big. Like, he's actually relatively good sized.
He's got a big beard.
Proper size. That's big. That's true.
There is a large buzz coming from not just the Section 108, but from the White Sox spring training site that Raylo's the goods. Like I mentioned earlier, that Sox Machine, again, go check out that article. It's very well done. Put side by side the mechanic changes from last year to this year. Did you watch it, Kev? The mechanics, the side by side.
Oh no, I didn't see the side by side one. No.
Yeah. So basically, where he comes back with the ball is different, and then also his release points. I mean, I'm not telling you anything you don't know, Kevin, but it's these tiny little changes that make this huge difference. And Lucas Giolito even said in an interview, Raylo got his curveball back, basically saying like it's nasty. Our good buddy Rick Giolito is back on the Twitter streets.
Back on the Twitter
just
machine.
praising Raylo. So if Rick's saying it, I'm down. But yeah, dude, like Raylo by all means could be winning that fifth starter spot, and then also that puts Carlos Rodon in the pen, which I would prefer because I think Carlos is a good dude. He looks like he's a pretty good dad, and I don't want his arm to fall off. And I feel like if he's a starting pitcher, that's what's going to happen. So, yeah. White Sox are playing tonight at 7 o'clock. We record this on Thursday night. Sox are playing at 7 o'clock Central versus the Reds, and both Raylo and Rodon are supposed to throw. So,
what do you think of Dr. Pepper, our Dr. Pepper boy?
Oh, Hendrix, I'm not worried about Hendrix.
How? I mean, are you appreciating? He's a little bit more of a novelty. He's a little bit more of a personality than I think. Or did you expect that kind of a personality when you got him?
Yeah, I mean, we White Sox fans, the collective, the royal we knew that when he signed on because we all watched him scream on the A's pitching mound as he eliminated us from the playoffs last year. Like you knew what you were getting. The video of Katz working with Raylo was great. I do agree that they might want to add a second lefty in the rotation, but at this point, I don't think they just want the best five getting handed the ball. And then, having Carlos Rodon as your long, your oh shit starter is what I like to call it.
Your innings eater, your bridger, your long relief.
Also, if like Dylan Cease goes out and gets fucking shelled in the first inning or gets hurt or something, you got to have that oh shit starter. And that's what I think I've been saying it on the show for 2 years. Carlos Rodon belongs in the bullpen. I'm legit nervous. His arm is going to. You guys, you got to remember his injury. He had blood in his muscles, like not where blood's supposed to be in his arm. Like his shit was fucked up. So I mean, I know he's recovered and everything, but we saw this little comeback when he pitched, and yeah, I know I just picked Cease as an example because I was thinking about Dylan Cease. Dylan Cease is going to be top 5 Cy Young. Book it. So we'll see Cease Monday versus the Cubs again. He threw a couple bullpen sessions. He's ready to go. Yeah, man, This
is a good time too. This is like when like we're about that point of spring training where now it goes from these 2-inning little farts to like maybe maybe 3-4 innings, and so you've got like a week or so, maybe a start or two that's going to be where you get to see a little bit more. Because I mean, you've got. I mean, it's such a small sample size. You don't want to freak out about what Gio's done or what Lance Lynn's done too. Mm-hmm. You need them to throw some more innings so they can do it. 4 2/3 inning is not it's not like much, and so now it's time to, as they stretch out, how good are they in the 4th inning? Are they still sitting with that velocity? Because again, people always mistake. He was sitting at like 98. No, sitting means you're throwing 98 in the 5th inning, in the 6th inning. You don't sit anything in the 1st inning. You're throwing that in the 1st inning. You sit when it's the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th inning. When someone's sitting at 98, that means they've been throwing 5-6 innings and they're still keeping it there. And that's a misnomer that people use a lot, and they throw it around a lot without understanding what it means. But when you're sitting, it's not. Relievers don't sit at all.
Right.
I'll just put it that way. Relievers don't sit anywhere. They
like Michael Kopech sits.
Yeah. If it's the 6th and they're still throwing 97, they're sitting.
Yep. Hold on. I'm looking right now. So Mr. Hand asked if that Cease bet is on PointsBet. I don't think it is. No, it's not. It's on Zobet. I don't take any bets because I'm broke. But yeah, I still have nothing but faith in Katz and what he's done. I'm very excited to watch Raylo pitch tonight. I'm very excited to watch Cease pitch on Monday. The Giolito family has spoke very highly of both of them. Very pumped for them. Very happy for Dallas Keuchel because it looks like he's getting married to a Total Smoke Show who works at MLB Network. So everything's coming up good for the White Sox pitching staff. Lance Lynn looked really good.
You like to see that kind of stuff early on. I mean, it takes a while. I think the pitchers are always a little bit ahead of the hitters in that sense, but
yeah, and
it's such a short burst. It's like you don't know what you're getting yet.
Yeah,
it's just they're getting their work in. Everybody at this point, they're annoyed. They want to start getting at it. They want the horse wants to get out on the racetrack and get going. They want to stride out. They can't stride out. Like no starter likes to get going again because once you get going, it doesn't matter if you've thrown 2 innings or 8. You've gotten going. Your body's gonna. It's the same response by your body. It really there's a minimal difference between once you're going and you're loose and your body's at 100% and you're into the game. You're gonna feel it. These guys are like, well, if I'm gonna fucking do it, I might as well go a little bit longer. But I know they've got to continue to build out. And this is gonna be a long season. It's gonna take you might only see maybe 5-6 inning outings for a while here at the early part of the season as everyone's a little bit timid to stretch some guys out. And then when you get towards the end of the season, you may be able to see them kind of stretch out a little bit more. But I think everyone's gonna be extra cautious.
And I'm good with that. And I also want to see who's working this busted ass radar gun that said Lance Lynn was hitting 96, 97, 98. I mean, it looked good, but
probably the guy that works all these tryout camps for high school kids.
Yeah, I mean,
bro, your pop time was 1.9. Sorry,
it looked really good. I appreciated Lance Lynn barking at the ump. That was fun. Getting really into it. I mean, you got to like that little competitive fire. From the position player point of view, I'm good. Nothing really has made me nervous. I mean, there's no like, oh my God, I'm good.
I think that we're at this point with Vaughn now. The excitement and like the whole the kid can hit kind of is now wearing off, and he gets on base. I mean, he's getting on base more than half the time. But he's getting a little bit. He's having a little bit here and there. I mean, he's got 5 hits, but he's cooled off a little bit. He only hit the 1 jack and the double, but I think that what he's doing is seeing enough. I mean, you got a guy that's he's got a 455 on base percentage. He's seeing enough pitches right now. It's not about really success for him either. I know you guys are looking for success from a guy like him, I think the guy needs to sit there and see a ball out of the hand over and over again as much as possible with a major league pitcher. That's what he needs to see. It doesn't matter if he's swinging or not even at this point. It's just recognizing, seeing, understanding what it looks like. You know, that's the kind of taper your expectations kind of thing, because he is fresh. This is new to him. But you got him and Lou Bob both are sitting at, they're leading the team in hits, but your boy Mercedes,
but Mercedes is quickly. I like the guy, and I mess around on Twitter and all that stuff, but like I think he has a shot. But remember back in the day when the Bears had their training camps and Devin Hester was the best wide receiver on the field?
It's the tallest short person.
Right. Well, and like he would be on, and you'd be like, whoa, Hester's going to be the man, dude. This is the year he goes from just a return guy to a receiver too. And it just never panned out. I think Yerman is really good in spring training. I'm not sure that that's ever going to transfer over into the regular season. I'm all for it if it is. Trust me, I think Yerman's. It's funny. Like he was catching against the game against the Padres, and you even saw like Manny Machado was like busting his balls when he was in the batter's box. Like I think Yerman's one of those guys that like everybody likes. He gets along with everybody. He's a big goofy guy. He hit amazing in spring training last year too, but I don't know. We'll see. The big thing with me though, when talking about Vaughn, is these professional at bats. Mm-hmm. He's working deep counts, and then going with what the pitchers are giving him. And our good buddy on the show, King Mac, put a tweet out there and just said he reminds him of Madrigal with power, and I think that's a pretty fair thing to say. The way that he's working these counts, and just we saw him. With I think there was runner on second. He went with the pitch and took it and put it on the left side of the second baseman, and it found its way to the outfield. And then a couple errors happened, and next thing you know, he's on second base. The runner scores, but you make contact and shit happens. And I think that we're going to see a lot of that from him. I think, in my opinion, he's earned that DH spot. I think
he has 5 walks. He leads the White Sox in walks this spring.
That's what I'm saying.
You tell me a rookie that comes in and rolls in like that and takes walks. Like someone that's a pup. I mean, he's not a pup, but he's a pup. He's a mature hitter, so it's not unexpected. But when you look at, just his first real spring training. I mean, his first as a guy that may actually be a dude, and he's out there taking walks. He's not out there trying to do too much. That's huge. Right. You would expect him to go out there and expand his zone. I need to go hit a double here. If I don't hit a double here, maybe I won't make the team. Or he's not trying to push. He's just letting the game come to him, and that is what makes Vaughn so valuable. Is he is a mature human, let alone a ball player, but he knows that the game's going to eventually come to him. He's willing to wait, and that also shows a little bit of trust, or he trusts the people behind him. If he doesn't get it done, he knows the guy behind him is going to get it done. And I actually noticed this, and I mean we can use it as a segue, but the White Sox have only the big power monster behemoth. I mean, I know that you guys haven't, Abreu hasn't had many at bats either, but you guys, the White Sox have only hit 4 home runs in spring training. Jock Peterson has 5, and the Cubs have hit. Where is it at? Hold on. The Cubs have hit 15 spring training home runs.
I need to address a couple things before we start jerking off the Cubs.
I'm sorry. I'm just saying, it's a limit again. Spring training. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm not too overly concerned about it. That White Sox lineup, top to bottom, minus Madrigal, anyone in that lineup could easily pop off for 20 home runs this season. But the comment, where is it? Oh, Madrigal doesn't take pitches or work counts. I'm more comparing Vaughn and Madrigal's hitting styles to they put bat on the ball. I'm not the working counts thing. Madrigal just likes to get 2 quick strikes because then he goes to work. It's the weirdest thing in the world and extremely frustrating. But yeah, I mean, that's it. Vaughn is a very short dude. Vaughn is maybe 6 feet tall. I don't think he's 6 feet tall, but yeah.
And Matty Mitch, I understand it's spring training. I'll relax, but it's pretty freaking amazing when a dude, if you were to just take his home runs, is hitting 300 this spring with home runs only.
Yep. You got to
hit 5 homers and 17 plate appearances.
You can't tell him. You can't tell him to relax about Jock Peterson, and then in the same breath get all pumped up for Lance Lynn. You know what I mean? Jock might be taking dudes that are going to be working at Enterprise Rent-A-Car deep, but Lance Lynn's striking him out. You know what I mean? It's just like you got to take it with what it is, and we're not dumb. We understand like that's what's happening, but it's also if if like Luis Robert had 6 home runs right now, people would be going pump. I'm actually very happy to watch Luis Robert rip doubles to the gaps.
But you also look at this too. This is something that fans forget, and this is a little my pet peeve right now, just with spring training too. Some of these hitters, they stick around a little bit longer in the game. But there's Yumper right there. I was just about to say it. You got guys that are playing in the 6th inning. If you're hitting in the 6th inning of a spring training game, week 2 or 3 of spring training, you are facing a dude that more than likely has 0 pitches in the majors. More than likely is a bagging groceries guy. There's a body that's going to be in there giving a shot, but more than likely he's going to make the roster, and you're teeing off on it's basically punching downward. And I think that's another thing. Like Jock's hit a couple off of like real starters. Like today, Rodriguez is a good starter.
Mm-hmm.
They hit it off, but when you're hitting off a Bob blah blah in the 6th inning, a guy that's wearing number 96.
Actually, Fidds, I'll be right back. Continue to talk.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna have to keep this ball rolling. I think Zoe has to poop. I think he ate some of the baby's suppository. I'm not sure, but no, I mean, but that's the thing is you look at spring training numbers are what they are. I mean, you look at Vaughn's having a decent spring. I mean, quietly, Lou Bob is doing what Lou Bob does. I mean, he's getting on base 4 out of 10 times, and he's fast, and he hasn't driven in a lot of runs, but he's scored what? Well, he's only scored 3, I guess, but I don't know. I feel like White Sox they're doing their thing. And guess what? You guys have the coach, the one manager that knows that none of this means dick. You have a guy that's not going to make a spring training game feel like a World game, 7 in the World Series. And I like the Mets playing 27 outs the other day. Everyone's like they're celebrating or whatever. But you got a manager that knows that these guys need to get their work in, and that's it. And they're going to come in, get their work in, and get out. He treats them like adults. Like you have a manager that isn't going to sit there and like micromanage you. And I think that's the big thing that you get with a guy like La Russa is that he doesn't micromanage. He lets his coaches coach. He does what he's got to do. He knows when he pushes. He knows when to pull back. He knows when to push buttons and when to just let things kind of let it go. And he knows there to be he's more or less getting to know everybody. And then he'll sit back. He probably doesn't talk much. I would probably assume he says very little at camp. I would assume that he's probably at the end of the day, he might address the guys a little bit and then let them go because people like him don't. No, I just was stuttering because it's me. But the thing about what he does with White Sox fans, you stop. Who said that? Wait, are you talking about Javi? Okay, well, you guys are talking about Javi in the chat now. Sorry, I wasn't sure. I was going. Wait, no, I did not say LaRoche though. LaRoche, though I would say. Anyway, but you got a manager that's going to do that. So that's why again you're seeing. I think a lot of the numbers are down for the White Sox as far as appearances. I mean, I guess not totally. I mean, Vaughn and Lou Robert, as all likes to call Revered. But Lou Bob is at 16 at bats. But then everybody else is sitting, Anderson's got 17, so I guess, but he's sitting doing what he normally does. So I don't know. They're just getting their licks in and getting out. It's not they're not getting, it is what it is. I mean, the Cubs offense always hits home runs. Last year was more of an anomaly, but the White Sox offense is going to do what it does. And I will take, there he's back, but I will take issue a little bit with the Nick Magical stuff too. I know that he usually is not. Now, and I think I was talking with Alex about this in a DM. I believe that you're going to see an evolution of Nick Magical as he matures as a hitter because his team, I think the White Sox are going to ask him to alter his approach into seeing some pitches, taking walks, to be a guy that's going to get on base. He's too fast and he causes too much havoc on the base pass to not be a guy that's going to see a few extra pitches. And that's, something that he could learn from Vaughn again. But I think that you're going to see Magical develop into a guy that will take walks. And I know that it doesn't sound like it could happen, but I think that that's what they're going to ask of him. I think that being in the 9 hole in that second leadoff, if he's going to stay there, he's got to get on base. And if he's going to hit like Tim Anderson and have a great BABIP, and be great, fine. But I think that he's going to have to make that adjustment and take more walks. And I think that's what makes him.
Fidds. Mm-hmm. We have some breaking Bears news that I think everybody's going to want to talk about.
Well, bullshit. Don't.
They've extended their kicker Santos for 5 years.
That's good though. I will talk about that. You son of reach through this. I would reach through this camera right now.
Yes.
Wring your neck.
I know. Well,
Yumper, get him.
Yumper's the one that put it in the comments.
But he didn't make it seem like it was Russell Wilson. He just put.
I know.
He didn't build it up like that.
I got the the notification from Sports Mockery on my phone,
Tinkled,
and I saw Bears, and I was like, yes, shit.
I tinkled just like a tiny bit. Like that was
But
really.
anyways, what were we talking about? We're talking about Madrigal, and I wasn't here.
I was just saying that. Well, we were talking about LaRussa. These guys are spring training. He knows what he's.
Jesus, sorry.
These guys do their thing.
I'm a pretty white dude. I look like fucking powder.
You look like a very hairy Dave Kaplan.
Yeah. Oh, no sense in being mean.
Put him in the cryogenic chamber again. God, that picture.
Oh, it's so bright.
It's getting like worse. God is coming down.
It's worse
to take your soul. Winter Zone.
Oh, we're just gonna turn this off. Holy smokes, dude! I looked like a kid that would tell you his dad's. I looked like a kid that would tell you his dad's a lawyer. Do you know who my dad is?
My daddy.
Yeah.
Once you start going golfing, you'll have a better reflection.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe it's just because the camera really does attract itself to that makeup table that perhaps you're doomed from the start.
Could be.
But we were just talking about how LaRussa is these guys are not getting the same kind of like work that other franchises are doing because he knows that these guys just need to get in and get to work. He's not a micromanager. He lets these guys just do. Lets the coaches coach. Lets them go. And we talked about how Madrigal. I think that Madrigal will eventually be asked to not necessarily change who he is, but be a guy that takes more walks. I think that because of his speed and the expectations, if it's not happening with the bat, he's going to be asked to because he's a small guy. He's hard to pitch to. Just because of size alone. And so little guys are generally guys that should take a few more walks. But I mean, I think that they're going to ask him to do that in the 9 hole. And that does look much better, by the way, though. You don't like totally.
You. I think I agree with you. We saw what LaRussa did with guys like David Eckstein.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like he's just going to tell Nick, like, dude, your goal is to flip this lineup over. And by doing that, we need you to get on base. And I understand he's the best 2-strike hitter in baseball. Like we've seen that, but like Walt Weiss. But yeah, I think he's got to take a little bit more walks. Again, I can't stress this enough. He's had 100 major league at bats. Like we're far from the finished product. You know what I mean? Like Luis Robert hasn't even played a fucking full season.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, let's give these guys a little bit more time to like show us what kind of players they're going to be. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I hope and I understand, and I get Matty Mitch's point in the comments. Pitchers will always come at Madrigal, though, always throw him strikes because they know there's not a good chance he's going to put one over the wall. But so they're going to challenge him, and I think he's up to it. He's been probably challenged his whole career. He was the collegiate player of the year being challenged. Like this isn't anything new to him. And I beg the 10 people that watch this show
16.
to hi,
14. 19.
To please just let guys like Madrigal and Robert mature and become like the players that they're going to be. You know, not everyone's going to be Albert Pujols, who put up like the ultimate rookie season. But yeah,
you give them the space enough to be themselves. Let them develop who they are. They don't know who they are as a pro. Right. They know who they were as a college player, but you've got to go out there and kick ass and wear it. Who you are develops who you are. I mean, Chris was a power hitter in college, but I'm telling you right now, people are make the stupid mistake with KB and calling him a power hitter. He's not. He's a run producer. He gets on, or he hits gap to gap. He's not. I mean, he hits balls far, but it's within the construct of the at bat and what he's given. And people want to see, Madrigal be something else. Just let these players be themselves. But it takes time to develop who they are. And again, people, when you start saying like this person is going to be the next blank, this is going to be the next. You hog tie him.
I hate that shit. I hate that shit so much.
That poor kid in New York being called the next Mike Trout. Like that's stupid.
Shut up. Why do you do that? Why? Don't stop doing that to kids. I think that's the worst. Like, yeah, that kid in New York, he's a brick shit house. What's his name?
I forgot his name. I
Yeah,
just feel bad for him.
but the kid is like 0% body fat, just a fucking monster.
Sure.
And there's videos of him just demolishing baseballs, but to be putting out articles comparing, is he the next Mike Trout? Why do you do that?
Mm-hmm.
Crochet's the next Sale because he's tall and lefty. Like, it's like so lazy. Brick shit house. I said it right that time. Jason Dominguez.
You said a shit. What did you say? A brick? Did you call it a brick shit house?
I said brick shit house, shit brick house.
Is it a shit brick house? I don't even know. Which one is it?
Someone tell Al Wiz to make me that shirt. I wanted to say brick shit house, and then on the back say shit brick house.
There you go. Then you're totally.
Yeah, but yeah, and that's a good one that King Mac brings up in the comments, which we do live every Thursday night. Watch our show live. But people calling Crochet Sale. It's because he's a tall, skinny white dude that throws lefty and throws smoke. I just think you're starting to get lazy. You know what I mean? Like,
lazy. It's lazy. It's lazy. There lazy. It is.
It's just. I think it's just lazy. Like, Crochet is going to be the first Crochet. Like that. I mean, I wish he had Sale's slider. He doesn't have that, but that slurve he threw the other day was amazing. Like, I don't know. I think it's lazy.
It's a fallback. It's a fallback for people that actually don't have the baseball IQ to actually describe what they're seeing. They say, "Oh, this looks like blank. It must be the next blank." And then if you break down their swings, it is nothing freaking close. But that's what that's like the that's like, again, I'll say it. It's like the hitting instructor that always is like, "Get your hands through, palm up, squish the bug," like saying all these stupid cliches that people don't even use anymore and that are actually obsolete, but they're throwing it out there. And it's lazy because they don't know what else to do. They don't know how to actually to say that this guy has a spin rate at blank and has a velocity and a late giddy up and has that inside runner. They don't know how to say that. They're like, "Oh, he looks like Kershaw. He's the next Kershaw." So this kid grows up going, "I got to be Kershaw now? Shit, what? That's like one of the best left-handers ever played the game." And maybe they're the next Paul Ossenmacher for all I know. Who cares? It doesn't matter because they're the first whoever they are. Yeah. And it's big publications. Well, King Mac, you say it. Because most of these big publications don't have real baseball people writing. They have writers. They have guys that never played the game. If you look at them, you know that a 5'7" Sully has never played baseball at a high level. No offense. Just saying. These are people that aren't inside the lines. They don't understand it. They don't get it. And so I might be the next Dave Kaplan. I will have to shave my head. I will have to get in the hyperbaric chamber. I'll have to make up more false reports, but I could be the next Cap. But I would be well north of 200 million with my contract with the Score.
But yeah, I mean, I think we both, and I do see the marketing aspect of it. I do see organizations being like, "Yo, can you throw a story out there saying that this kid we got could be the next Ken Griffey Jr.?" Because, well, no, I know me and you roll our eyes, and a lot of these people that are watching or listening probably roll their eyes too. But the casual sports fan, the casual baseball fan sees that headline and is like, "Yo, I'll go drop money and go check this kid out." You know what I mean? And so
that's the problem though, is the game is not teaching people the game. That's the problem why people don't get it. We have to dumb down the game for these people to understand it. Why not teach the game? Golf took a while. Poker took a while. Once you actually were able to explain the nuance of the game, you don't have to dumb it down. Like in the sense, like today, for example, minor league, what AAA is going to larger bases, and AA is going to, what is it? They're tweaking these things in essence to allow. In AA, infielders will have to be within 1 step or 2 steps of the infield dirt at all times.
Wait, what? That's real?
Yeah, this is real. And so what are they doing? They're dumbing the game down because they can't explain the nuance of pitching to the fans. Fans want to see hit ball hard, go far, run hard. Like, hey, guess what? There's a beautiful thing. That's like saying, do you want to go? Do you want to go to a EDC or do you want to go to the Met or do you want to go to the Art Institute of Chicago? Do you want to go to the Crowbar or do you want to go to the Art Institute? That's really what the difference is. It's boom, boom, boom. I can bounce around. Or look at this beautiful art. These pitchers are doing a great job. Look at how they paint this picture. Look at how they set things up. Nope. And that's where I get upset with. Baseball's doing a terrible job of teaching the average fan the game. Mic 'em up.
In all fairness, mic 'em up, yes, 100%. That makes the game more entertaining too, because the biggest thing is baseball's boring. I get it. But I know, because they don't know. But we are spoiled here in Chicago, where we have guys like Steve Zone and Benetti and Len Casper and these guys that are not only fantastic at painting this beautiful picture of what's going on with their words, but they also teach and explain. You can watch a week straight of White Sox games with Steve Stone and have no clue what baseball is. Like, believe me, my son will watch old Sox games with Steve Stone just for the educational purposes. And I still, to this day, since I was a kid, but still to this day, I'll be watching a game and Steve Stone will be like, and it's 1-2. Here comes that slider low and away. And it's a slider low and away. And you're like, what the fuck? And I smile every time. I think it's the greatest thing in the world, how we can call pitches.
I grew up thinking Steve Stone had an actual phone line to the dugout in his broadcasts on WGN as a kid growing up. He would be like, oh, it's a 1-1 count. This is a great time for the runner to move. I'd expect the runner to be moving in this situation. There goes the runner to second. I'm like, hey, what is he doing here? He knew.
But that's the thing, though. That's why we're lucky, though, because we grew up with a guy like.
He explained running counts. He explained why it's good to move a runner 3-1. In a 3-1 count with in certain situations, it's good to run a runner in a 3-2 count with one out. Like, he talks about why. And this, I probably would say,
shit. This is a huge pet peeve of mine.
Yep. And this is a reason, Pitt. You're right.
You're trying to grow the game, and you're blacking out games in broadcast areas.
Teams. 8 teams in Vegas I can't watch. And if whoever they're playing, that's 16 teams every night I can't watch unless they're playing each other here in Vegas.
And also, and this is if I was a Cubs fan and I was paying for the Marquee Network and I couldn't watch games, livid. Fucking livid. At least White Sox, it's like, all right, whatever, it's part of cable and there's ways to find.
No, MLB Network blocks me out here for all those games, Alex. I can't watch anything on MLB Network. I cannot watch.
Trust me, he can't see it. I hear about it every day. He can't see it. He can't.
Neither confirm nor deny how I get to watch the games when it happens, other than going to the sports book, which somehow the sports books aren't blacked out. But I would understand that. That's fine.
Money. Let's just say I read it how to watch games.
When you sent me that text today, I was on the treadmill and I read it, and I watched Chris hit a double.
Yeah. I was just kind of poking around and I read it somewhere that I could watch these White Sox games. But yeah, I mean, guys like Steve Stone need to be on national broadcast. He needs to be doing and I know I'm such a homer on this, but he needs to be doing the World Series. Yep. He needs to be doing it to the world to grow the game. If you had and I'm not saying it has to be Steve Stone, just someone that could do what he does though, and show how fun. Do you know how fun it is? Just from watching Steve Stone, I thoroughly enjoy trying to guess pitches. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I'm not smart, but I've watched millions of hours of baseball where I love being it's a 1-2 count. He's been working this guy inside. He's probably going to throw something off speed, low and away. Oh God.
And this is true. And actually Yumper makes a good point. A hell of a lot better than Mr. In My Day Smoltz. Guess what? It's so much better when you don't have former players because they're going to talk about what I used to do. I want catchers. I want former coaches. I want Bob Brenly. I want guys that are baseball IQ guys. I don't give a literally okay. Nobody ever. Alex Rodriguez has a high baseball IQ. Said no one ever. Okay, meatball. Period. And so when you get him in there and you get people that aren't teaching the game, it's more about personality. I don't give two shits about what Chris Bryant is doing on a Saturday night or what things Javi, what is it like to hang out with Javi Baez? That Cubs broadcast last week. Dear God, the worst question you could ever ask a player is, what's it like hanging out with your teammate? Fuck off. Let's talk about the game. Okay. And that's what they're asking. What is it like on a weekend with Shut up. What is it? How about this? What adjustments have you made to your swing? What is the hardest thing about adjusting to a pitcher that throws from 3/4 as opposed to over the top or maybe a sidearm from down below? No questions are being asked that. And that's what they're missing out on. It's all about personality. It's like we're watching TMZ with sports, and it's not what we're looking for. I want the game. And we need someone that capitalizes on that and drops the game as a priority. You've got money back. You got a money bag right there.
One thing though, Smoltz isn't terrible, but he does the whole back in my day thing a little too much. Smoltz reminds me of he's like a Troy Aikman type for baseball, but
Luke. Have you ever been to a reading club at the library?
I hope you like butterbeer.
Yes.
But as far as former players are concerned, they're not all bad because last year, I think it was the Rays first round series, just because they were running out of people, I think. They put AJ Przinsky with who's the 100-year-old pitcher on the Cardinals?
Wainwright.
Wainwright, for some reason was like he was like the third guy on the broadcast. Brzezinski and Wainwright were hilarious. They were a fantastic duo. And yes, Barry Melrose, fantastic screen name, but love your mullet. But he makes a good point in our comment. Major networks don't care about smart people anymore. They just want clicks for cash. I mean, that's where we're at in the world. I mean,
we're advertising to the.
Yeah, don't get me started on that. Yes, I'm fully aware that this show is part of Sports Mockery, and yeah, I know that's a little hypocritical, but still.
Did somebody say that? Oh, wait.
No, I did.
I mean, but
yeah, but Wainwright and Brzezinski together, I'd watch that 7 days a week. Phenomenal insight, cracked a couple jokes, but kept it, on the field. Not a lot of, back in my day shit. Like, it was really good stuff. A lot of insight. I felt like I was learning while I was watching the game. It was fantastic. And I would want more guys like that. A-Rod in the booth, I'm good on that, man. I mean, he's a corporate stooge. Like, whatever. And if he ever owns the White Sox, please don't play him that audio, because that would suck. I would never get invited back to Sox Fest. But yeah, KB Unfiltered is the best. KFidds needs to get him drunk. I don't think the Lord can get KB drunk right now.
That would actually have to be more like one of those roofie moments where he doesn't realize that I am using a little tincture and just putting alcohol. I mean, it would probably take like a thimble, really, first timer. I
don't think you're going to be seeing KB drunk anytime soon.
Nah. That shit happens. I'll probably be in the background somewhere in the video.
Yeah, or we'll be seeing you like Channel 6 News live. Former high school baseball coach gets his Major League Baseball player protege hambone.
And he gets on TV and then says, I don't give a shit. Oh, wait, he already did that, but he was sober. Never mind. He did it again.
All right, well, we're over the hour mark. Let's talk about what everybody wants to talk about.
We with Jock?
No, the NIT tournament.
Oh, sorry, my bad. I thought we wanted to talk about the guy that's launching baseballs.
I mean, what else can you really say? The dude is just, and he's doing it all kinds of ways. He's hitting long bombs. He's hitting the line drive home runs. Mm-hmm. His swing looks very fluent. He looks very loose and relaxed with this team.
I mean, one could say, I mean, the Cubs as a spring training offense is a world beater. Their offense has been fantastic. Whatever they're doing has been good. Nico's got 9 hits. Jock's got 9 hits. Vargas, guy competing for the roster spot, has 8 hits.
Which is good because they're going to need runs.
Who hit the grand the other night? Rafael Ortega hit a game-winning grand slam the other night. Yep. There's a lot. I mean, God.
Here you go.
There's a lot of runs scored.
Cubs question: does Sogard or Maben make the opening day roster?
I think Maben will. I think Sogard is a question mark. I think Sogard may end up back at like that secondary facility. It is all against righties, but guess what? Do you want to bring up the fact that there are only 2 left-handed starters in the entire Central Division? There's a whole reason why lefties no big deal.
But that's who Jock is. That's why I wanted him on the White Sox, was to face righties. He's a platoon guy. He's not an everyday guy.
But he's gonna see lefties this year, but he won't see a lot of them because the Central doesn't have many. Like it was a smart move by Jed to take that risk. He's gonna get a shot against lefties, but righties he just eats. You just hope that if he struggles against lefties, it doesn't affect how he hits righties. That's the big thing.
No way the Cubs start Sogard. Dude, have you seen what Nico's doing this spring?
You have a gold glove second baseman, gold glove caliber second baseman who's now hitting the baseball and he's younger. Sogard is going to have to be.
All right, real quick. I know we're talking about Cubs, but this quote just came out. Someone asked Tony La Russa about the Raylo and Carlos Rodon both pitching tonight. He said, quote, "You can't phony up the competition. This is a legitimate competition. Each guy knows it. The players will be watching it closely, and that makes today something special." I love that shit. I absolutely love that shit. He didn't say I love that shit. That's me. His quote ended with special. But I love that shit. I think it's great. I love that I think competition brings out the best in men and women.
Competition breeds excellence.
Yes, and I think this is great. I can't wait to watch the game in a half hour. But back to Nico. If the Cubs are starting, Nico's earned the starting job.
Will he cross the line? Will he cross the line?
Now, why would you ask this question? You know both of us are going to answer. The question was
$200 million. No.
You gave Javi a $200 million contract. Let's just say no.
I'll give him a 3-year 45.
Let's say no. Watch it
3 or
where?
45. And then you know what?
Damn it, the Sox game's not on TV?
Ed Howard can go ahead and take over. We good. I mean, Nico keeps doing this. Shit. We don't need to worry about it anyway, but nah.
I thought for sure the Sox game was on TV. Is it televised in Cincinnati? Is it televised anywhere?
They did this because they were blacked out because of the 108 selection show. That's actually why it's blacked out. So let's get there. Let's get there. So let's talk about this.
So this is your first year being like eligible for this, correct?
Yeah. I helped you last year. I did a lot of recruiting. I did a lot of vote. I've
had an interesting journey in the 108 tournament. Like 2 years ago was my first year in the tournament. I was a 16 seed, and I got literally teabagged by White Sox Dave in the first round. Like it was
White Sox Dave in the first round.
It wasn't. I lost like 90-10. It was a joke. But I was just happy to be there. And I was just like, wow, this is really cool. And this is kind of when our show is just kind of launching off. And I will always thank the guys at 108 for kind of getting me out there. I gained a ton of followers. I got to meet a ton of people because of it. And it was great. And then last year, I was picked as a sleeper pick by Beef Loaf. And I did not disappoint. And did I win my bracket?
Or pretty far. I mean, you beat a 9. You were a 9 seed, right? Or you beat a high seed.
Yeah, no, I think I won my bracket. There was like 8 divisions or whatever last year. I
went over my March posts now, and that's all I came up with. Vote for Zoe. He likes babies.
Yeah,
and you have a baby now. Holy shit.
Yep.
So you did that, but I think
I'm pretty pumped. I mean, it should be. Yeah, I know I got at least 11 votes from this comment section, so I'm pretty pumped about that. Hold on though. Let me put this back a little bit. This is one of the things that makes White Sox Twitter extremely special. What these guys have done in the 108 started out as something that I know just started as something that was like, hey, this is going to be a good time. This is going to be fun, whatever. Yeah, I thought of that this morning too.
I have pictures.
I thought of that too. And it started out as something like goofy or whatever, but I've talked to Beef Loaf about this. I think it's such a phenomenal thing. It introduces people to people that might just be starting, like a podcast or a show or an update. I've also made some really good friends from this show, from this show and also from the selection show from the 108, which is on 8:30. But this tournament, it's just a really, really cool thing. And yeah, sometimes people cross the line. There's sometimes people get a little personal, and then there's the whole shit with people buying bots, which is always really weird to me. But it's just really cool. And I mean, yeah, you got guys like Jeff Passan ripping on Beef. That's hilarious.
Amazing.
That is fantastic.
Those are one of those things that, like, when you're sitting on the couch and you read that, and there's people like in the room or in the house, and they hear you cackling like you just saw, like a brand new like early 90s Jim Carrey movie, and you're like, what's wrong with you? And you're like, Chip Passan just murdered Beef. It's glorious.
It was unreal. But yeah, there was people. I mean,
you built a bot, Jack? Did she look like Kelly LeBrock?
The overall spirit of the thing, I think, is a huge indication on how great this community can really be. I mean, again, there has been some people that have gotten shitty, and there's some times where I think people get a little too personal with, dragging up pictures, or like some things just aren't funny that people do, but, to each their own. But overall, everyone has a really good time with it. It inspires some of the funniest shit you will see on Twitter. Like Summer of George came out hot last year, and during the tournament made these videos of him just crushing tequila shots, beer, all this stuff, and it was fantastic. But see, now this is the kind of comment I'm talking about. Like, somebody says the 108 folks brought me out of my shell. And if you are a listener to this podcast and you're not really big on Twitter, I guess we should back up. They're on Facebook too. But From the 108 is another show, another great podcast in White Sox Twitter, great blog as well.
Like our cousins. They're uncles. They're our uncles.
Yeah. And I mean, the show is hosted by 3 guys, Beef Loaf, Treasy, and My Sex Summer. MSS, and Mr. Hand's a contributor. They got Wally. I know Mailman Jack writes for them. D Brown is their intern now, but it's just fun shit, man. Like, it's just a good time. They literally sit in section 108 at White Sox games, and they're always extremely approachable. They love it when people come by and say, I think they love it. They could secretly say, like, fuck that guy when I leave, but they totally, like, I don't know. They bring people together. Everyone has a really good time. And then, like, people use the hashtag 108ing. It doesn't necessarily mean drinking. Like, we've had Beef on the show talk about it. And it just means, like, living your best life, for trying to use a cliche term. Just having a good time. Enjoying themselves. 108ing could be eating a big ass steak, or it could be just having a great time, or you know what I mean? Like, they're real dudes, man. Exactly, Matty Mitch. I didn't even see your comment. I just said it exactly as you typed it. But they're just genuinely real dudes that just want to have a good time, talk about some baseball, and have some beers or 50.
But that's White Sox Twitter in a nutshell, man. Yep. I told you this. Like, I mean, we joke about me being, possibly even remotely having a shot of even being in this thing. I'm a Cub fan. Right. And I'm on Twitter as much as everybody, and I have not. I mean, honestly, and I've said this on the show a few times. Cubs Twitter is just it's not great. I mean, Cubs Zone is fantastic. Obviously, Yumper,
Evan's cool.
Evan's awesome, but it's really, I mean, even the people that everyone like loves, it's not super welcoming. It's not like a community. It's really a bunch of pissed off people wondering why the window closed too fast, and it's kind of. It wears on you a little bit. Whereas White Sox Twitter is there's some good full on bagging. Like, nobody takes it too serious. Like, I could tell. I will still and don't think I won't. Every time I will tweet at Ken WO, there will be an I love you GIF.
I'm Ken WO. Happy birthday, so fuck you,
so. And so, but that's what makes White Sox Twitter so cool. Like, you bust chops and you have a good time. And I have never felt more welcome in any like online community as I have in the 108 White Sox, all of this whole thing or whatever. I communicate, like I said, my girlfriend jokes with me. She's like, "What are you giggling about over there, you dork?" And I'm like, "Oh, shit. Pete just sent me a stupid video. Mailman Jack just went over. He went over and saw Hank, I'm having, a Hank moment or whatever it is. And it's just, it's one of those things that makes me, I hated the White Sox. I fucking hated the White Sox. And when we came on this show, my first episode, I think I cliched every stupid White Sox joke there is with Zoe, and he just grinned and bared it like a good dude. And over the course of the time, and the way that everybody has welcomed me into the White Sox Twitter family or whatever, I guess you call it, I don't hate the White Sox anymore. I don't hate them. I actually, honestly, God, it's a perfect world for me if the Cubs and the White Sox play in a Red Line World Series, because I love to see people that I actually really do genuinely care about in White Sox Twitter happy. So if the Cubs don't win it and the White Sox do, I'm not going to be like, motherfuckers. I'm like, holy shit, this is amazing. I'm not on the bandwagon in that sense. I can't join the bandwagon, but I am so happy for people that I care about. Like, I love seeing people that I love or like or think have fantastic kneecaps do and have great moments. And so it's just really exciting. And that's what I think White Sox Twitter really is, that, as an outsider, I'm welcomed in. And if you give it, they give it right back. And it's in the right way, though. They give, like, there's a friendship. And Willie P, I'm going to say this, man. You've been super, super gracious on Twitter. If you guys aren't on Twitter yet, or if you're on Twitter and you're not following Willie P, you need to. You want to talk about some positivity. I think he's like he is like at least the assistant director of morale right now. I feel like he is everywhere, and just love and happiness. That's what happens when you're in San Diego, I guess. You get nice weather and no central air, but that's what makes it special. White Sox Twitter. So this, the 108 tournament is great, but it's a fantastic opportunity to see everybody jump out. Everybody's going to be themselves. You're going to see, hot dog eating. You're going to see Malort, shot takers. You're going to see, if you're going to see some probable partial nudity, you're going to see Billy. Billy's going to drop at least at least a teabag picture, or at least a cartoon of someone fully naked with a strange boner. You're going to see all these things, and that's what makes you're going to see Passan probably murder Beef again, and that's what makes it exciting, because now the personalities come out, and I love this part of it, is because now, having been more integrated in White Sox Twitter, these people there's kind of faces to the name. You guys know it too. Those of you been on those 2 a.m. fucking Zooms.
And here's my thing, dude. Like, if you need to know like how much this means to people, like Look at how excited people have been like the last 3 or 4 days, dude. Like just the anticipation of this like bracket reveal show. Like people are juiced for this shit. And we're not getting sappy. It's just we're giving credit where credit's due.
Absolutely.
You know, like we're competing shows. We're not even like competing shows. I don't even know how that's happened, but we're like the pre-show for the 108 show.
And we have a bridger. We do a bridger now that just kind of like kills the time. If you're going to keep drinking, let's talk.
And I mean, I'm cool with that. Like I've had beers with all the guys in the 108. I've had conversations with all of them individually, all together. I've gone a couple lunches with people. Like they're just good dudes. And like
I would actually call us fluffers. I think we're a fluffer in a sense, in a positive way. We get we get you a little bit going, and then
I would say, yeah, we're like the opening band, and I'm cool with that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually really cool with that.
What a good.
We've never discussed it with them. We've never discussed this with them. It just all worked out this way. Timing wise, this was a good time for us to do the show. They do theirs a little later, and it all just kind of rolled together. And it's just, and that's
the content makes the whole community so much better. Other baseball teams and fan bases could look at the White Sox fan base on Twitter and go, this is how it's really done. Why do you got, I mean, if you go on Cubs Twitter, people are blocking each other, calling each other assholes, and it gets, it's toxic. I mean, I know White Sox fans can get into it. And I know we had a real fun day, like a couple weeks, like last week or whatever. I'm not a doctor. I just play one on TV. So we're going to keep moving. But we had the Cubs fans are like, they hate each other. Like there's so much hatred. And I'm like, guys, this is supposed to be fun.
For a dude like Yumper, who has been a great fan of the show, contributor, whatever, to come in our comment section right now and just say Cubs Twitter has been extremely toxic lately. Like, yeah, I believe every word he says, you know, like, and I think the really cool thing about the Sox blogs and podcasts is there's something for every mood you have. You know what I mean? Like if you want straight baseball talks with advanced metrics and stats and shit like that, listen to Sox Machine. They're funny dudes too, don't get me wrong, but they're very much to the point. If you put up if the national media throws up the White Sox in any kind of poll, Sox are getting close to or in the finals because Sox Twitter will band together like the fucking Avengers.
The Sox fan base on Twitter is like all like the Bernie Bros. Like, it obviously not the same. Like, just in the like passionate. Like the minute you're doing an online straw poll, we just won like 90-10. Like, woo! That's how they're fiercely loyal. And guess what? The fact that there's so many different types of content, everybody's got content all the time. And when you don't give a shit, you appreciate the content and you share the content and you support the content because you're not a Sox fan or a Cub, in my case, or a Cub fan either. Only one day a week. Like if you got a free time on a Tuesday, don't you want the content? It should be shared. It helps the community. It helps the players in the end because people, it creates a whole jive and a whole juju about it. And I honestly believe in energy. So when you have good energy around things and it's optimistic, the players feel it. The product starts seeing the results. And I do believe that players that are, adjusted mind, body, and spirit, I think a lot of that does help when you have the fans also in the same place. And this is what makes it special. It does help the players in a weird ripple effect, a butterfly effect. It's not like, again, you're not pals with them, but it does eventually, in the ripple effect, it does reach them. They feel it. Chris, I can tell you, just talking to Chris Bryant, this is someone that I honestly say this. When the fan base is toxic, it's not really super fun. But in 2016, when everything was just at that fever pitch, it was like the perfect time to be in a perfect place and the perfect time to be alive in his, like, at that moment. Like you felt it, and those guys felt it. And the same thing with the White Sox is believing in energy and pushing that energy, and it does affect it. So negative fan bases, knee-jerk reaction fan bases, for the Cubs, it took years and years. Oh shit, here we go again. We're going to collapse here. Ooh, and that does manifest itself the same way. So when you have that positivity, it really does make a difference on the field eventually. And that's the thing is you're doing yeoman's work. You're doing a Herculean work, but you're also doing the Lord's work. Are they the Lord's tips? You're doing a work for the fan base. You're doing for the team. This makes a huge difference. So, and yes, Cub fans got spoiled after the World Series win, but I think it's less spoiled and more people that jumped on the bandwagon. But guess what? They're all yours now.
Right.
They're all yours now. Here they come.
Also, I can confirm, and I know Kevin can confirm this as well. players listen and read blogs. They 100%. I know some people be like, they don't waste their time with that shit. They don't care what. No, we can confirm in more ways than one. And I'm not just talking about Chris. I know everyone's mind probably goes right to Chris Bryant, which we do know he watches.
It's Las Vegas. I've coached one major leaguer.
Yeah, but Yu Darvish proved it too. They read blogs. They watch podcasts or listen to podcasts. Like they want to know what fans are thinking about them and talking about them and stuff like that. Like,
and their families do too, by the way. So it gets to them eventually.
I've said shit on this show and gotten DMs later, like, "What's up, dude?" Like, you know what I mean? Like,
you up?
You can. And they definitely search their name on Twitter too. I think that's how Rick Giolito found this show a couple weeks ago, because we put Giolito in the title and he just searched it and saw it and he was like, "Oh, this is cool." And it was like, sick. I was like, all right, cool. But yeah, dude, like I think the White Sox are in we're very lucky as White Sox fans to have the community that we have. And I'll just leave it at that. I'm pretty pumped about this. I'm excited for the 108 selection show that's going to be going on here in about an hour and a half. But yeah, hold on, let me do this real quick, Kev. For KFidds, I'm Southside Zoe. That's the Pinwheels and Ivy podcast this week. Make sure you check us out, leave us a like and review, and we'll be back next week. Aldo and recording. All right, so that was the show. We can stay out now.
We ain't going nowhere. I
just had to do that because we're gonna just keep.
We're gonna bridge. We're on now. We are now what's called tainted glove. Because we're the taint. We in the front, we in the back. We're just right in the middle. That's and fine. I'd give that to Lauren. That's another Lauren Parker baby.
Aldo literally just messaged us. Give me a stop time.
Hour and a half. Hour and 38.
121 I got.
No. It says live 130:43 right now. So
literally say, although you can stop here. All right, so yeah, you guys can welcome to hang around. Kev, you can.
Oh yeah, here we go. I'm gonna give Pete that link.
Invite your boys and the crew here. I'm gonna go check on the baby. I'm gonna go not rip a heater, and then I'll be right back.
Fire. You got it. Send it to you. Who wants to join us tonight? Who should we surprise Zoe with? Zoe should not be smoking. Right? Masked Singer. Why am I getting push notices for the Masked Singer? That's not cool. Pete, though, I did send you that. I know we're going to get Pete for a little bit for this little tweener. We'll talk with Pete about the tournament a little bit more because he's been a part of this. But who the hell is Dickface? Who did we send that to? Is that Pete? Was it Pete? Was that you? Because all I saw, someone just popped in the video. It said Dickface. Who's Dickface?
No, that wasn't me.
That looked like Cap. That actually looked like Cap. Like I thought it was Cap. I'm like, what's going on here? I mean, he looked like either Cap or like the dude. I mean, I sometimes can mistake him, but the guy from the Great America Six Flags commercial.
Yeah.
The party guy.
I had to bring this back out after last night.
Oh, it's so nice, Jug Smales. So nice. It's high quality. That was really scary though. Like literally someone, like I saw their eyes. They were, it was not you.
Right.
It was a little terrifying.
Well,
they were old.
Really?
I don't know. I'm like, wait, it's like my students. I'm like, hey, you're not in this meet. Get out. Little kid pops in. I'm like, I'm used to this.
Nice.
Boom, booted.
Nice.
But Zoe's went to go. I think he's going to check on the baby, or I think he's going to or maybe he's going to make another concoction. He used that word earlier, right?
I thought he was going to rip a heater.
He was actually being real. I'm gonna call his wife right now.
I don't know.
No, he might be ripping a heater. He should not be ripping heaters.
I agree.
He knows better than that. My Sock Summer's here trying to quit. Right, he's quitting smoking, right?
My Sock Summer has quit for over a year now.
Oh, it's been a year now. Okay, so that was okay. Yeah. That's awesome.
Good for him. Over a year now. I think the last time was Sox Fest weekend last year.
And I feel like what's his name? Danny Rockets and the Cubs Twitter personality, pretty fun dude. he just quit smoking like in the pandemic. I remember he was documenting his journey. I don't know if he's still smoking or if he stopped smoking or if he's smoking again, but
right.
It's fun to watch. No smoky.
It's a little hard to have.
It is hard to have those headphones on.
Yeah. I'll put that over there.
You got to start testing some lighting for the because I know we'll dip out of here at about 1:45, so you can you can get in there and fluff up a little bit.
Yeah, there it's getting brighter.
Oh, that's nice.
I know. I took the advice of people like Zoe and Mrs. Beefloaf and bought myself a spotlight.
You got yourself? Is it a ring or did you get like a?
It's a ring.
I used this thing for like a week. It was a terrible idea. I felt like I was like actually, like it was like one of those weapons that Blade would use to like kill the vampires. Yeah, it was like the UV rays. I'm like, oh god, he just killed.
No, I got the ring going, and I got a clip
Joey
on
for
it,
marketing,
so I can just plug it in right there and good to go. Be gentle.
We'll be gentle. No soup kitchens tonight.
Yes.
With dirty.
What's on your mind, Joey?
I gotta send this one tweet out real quick, but yeah, no. I mean, hey. I don't know if you were there. I mean, first off, man, how much? So like with the I mean, I'm going to ask this just because you've been a part of this whole thing. How much like with this 108 stuff? Like, what do you like the yeoman's amount of work that these guys have to do? Because there's so many people that actually give a shit about being in it. Like I guess what the hell? Like, what kind of process is it? Like, is there a process that they do? That, at least what you know of it? Like, are they like they wake up and they're like, okay, we're gonna like get drunk and just do this, or do they like? I mean, they sit around like. I picture a war room with most of them yelling at My Sock Summer quite frequently.
well, that's true regardless of the tourney. That's just true, period. But no, it was Beefloaf's idea, 2018, I believe it was. He just did it as like, he was like, hey, cool, I want to try this, and everything else. And it just took off from there. And basically, the as I call them, the drunk uncles, the three wise men, Beefloaf, Chirizi, and and as I tell people, the man that women want and men want to be, My Sock Summer. Basically Beefloaf lays it out and then gets feedback from the other two on who they think should be in and who shouldn't be in, and it goes from there.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah, so tonight at around 8:30, I'll be on with them. White Sox Dave will be on as well. And the funny thing, Dave is going to be really interesting today because Barstool opened up their gambling app today in Illinois. So they've been probably at, I believe it's Hollywood Casino in Joliet all day.
Oh, he's going to be shit canned. Hell yes. Well, I do know this, that when My Sock Summer comes on, I need this song. If it'll play. Oh, god dang you. Did you go to like Bluetooth? Oh. My favorite swollen Scott Stapp of the world. He's swollen Scott Stapp to me. He is just I love him. He paid me a compliment the other day. He said the first time I've actually impressed him because I made a Leaping Lanny Poffo reference. Yeah. Which pops out quite a ton actually.
There's a couple questions here. Uh-oh. Does Aloha have inside info on KFidds tourney invite? You'll have to wait till 8:30.
From the spot there, guys. That's
where do Aloha or Kevin? Where do you think Wilson lands?
Ooh, that's good.
Well, Wilson the volleyball. Well, he was last time I saw he was in the ocean.
It's going down.
Yeah, no. Yeah. But if you're talking about Danger Russell Wilson on Twitter, Danger or Dang Russell Wilson. I mean, based on how it's spelled.
Danger.
Sam Panianovich, who used to live in Chicago and now works for Nesson in Boston, tweeted something last night that the sports books took Russell Wilson's next team off the board for gambling purposes, and the Bears got better odds of making the Super Bowl all of a sudden last night. So there was a lot of speculation that he was going to be coming to the Bears. I just don't see it. I don't think the Bears have I don't think the Bears have enough to give up for him. And if they do give up, they're going to set themselves back further, in my opinion.
I look at this as I would give up Khalil Mack. I would give up 2 firsts, 3 firsts, and Khalil Mack for Russell Wilson, because before Khalil Mack came to Chicago Bears, the Bears already had a top 10 defense. Mm-hmm. So if you give Russell Wilson, again, you give him Allen Robinson, you give him Mooney, you give him hopefully Miller gets his head out of his ass. You give him Graham, and you give him Cole Kmet, who is just going to be a beast into that offense. Plus, maybe you draft like a second-round speeder flyer or whatever.
Yeah,
you have a top 10. Russell Wilson is also moving. You got to fix that line, sure, but you can restructure some stuff. And if you include Mack in the deal, you've restructured quite a bit. I would take Russell. None of us as Bears fans know what the hell this means. Like, we've never had a quarterback like Russell. We've had a Super Bowl champion with
McMahon
or Nick Foles, but that's true. Well, but that's not a real player. But a guy like Russell, we've never had a guy like Russell Wilson versus the Green Bay Packers. He's their daddy. That's worth 1 first-round pick, at least not 2. He's their daddy. He owns the Packers. Mm-hmm. Boom. They fear him. He is in their head like Aaron Rodgers is in the Bears' head. So go ahead and we'll play that game a little bit too. That makes it worth 2 or 3 right there. Then you know what? You want to trade Mack? That's fine. You know what? They can go out there. They can find somebody. Roquan Smith is ready to lead this defense. He's learned enough from Mack. Trevathan, I know, is on the back end. If you have a top 15 defense and that offense produces, it doesn't matter. Don't forget,
you get Goldman back too.
Yes, Eddie Goldman comes back. I don't think Hicks should go. I don't like the idea of trading Hicks.
Right.
Eddie Jackson, maybe not. But give me Fuller. I'll trade Fuller. I'm fine with that too.
Yeah. Alex makes the comment, why would Seattle take the deal without any guarantee of a quarterback? It's a fair point because Seattle doesn't have any first-round picks for like the next 2 or 3 years.
Hence, that's why they need the Bears pick so they can maybe move up. They can make a couple moves to draft one of those 3.
Right, but the Bears are at 20, so it's not.
But if the Bears give them 3, if the Bears give them 3 first, what's to say they couldn't package those 3 first to move up in the draft, and take that first pick? All of a sudden, you get Khalil Mack and the first. One of those top 3 tiers. And I like the BYU guy a ton, by the way. And I love Trevor Lawrence. Yeah. I love the BYU guy too, though. And I think that's you got to go for it. I mean, hopefully the Santos contract doesn't hogtie the Bears for a decade, but it's $3 million a year. It's great, man. The dude deserved it. The Bears fans, the Bears fans can all agree we got a consistent kicker who was surgical, who was also, I don't even know why KC let him go, but whatever. Who's surgical. He's good at what he does. And so,
just like the Bears letting Robbie Gould go?
Gould doesn't kick from that. His leg isn't as long. Like Santos kicks the ball. Like he's got a leg. And we haven't gotten to see like as many chances to be taken because Matt Nagy's balls are about the size of raisins most of the time after his play list is expired after he's done his first 25 script plays. So it helps to have a guy like Santos. And in Chicago, you have a good field goal kicker. You can win 15-3. You can win 15-6. It'll happen. But then you get Russell Wilson.
You have to have a good field goal kicker because, especially going into December, points are a lot harder to come by, especially if you get some of that lakefront weather going with the snow and everything else. Because it negates the passing game and the running game. The ball gets too slick; it's bouncing all over the place.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I would love to see it. My fear is that I just don't trust Nagy and Pace in this situation because they're fighting for their life. And I don't want them, in order to try and protect themselves, overpaying and leaving just making a giant mess of it where the next guy who comes in has to clean it up and it takes a few years.
Yeah, I think that I don't think it's going to be that. I don't think it's going to. I mean, they have no choice. The window is closing with this defense. It's good enough. I think you've got enough on the offensive end. I mean, the Chiefs. Look at the Chiefs' defense. How good is the Chiefs' defense? Middle of the pack.
Yeah. Well, you could say that about a lot of the previous Super Bowl champions. I mean, if you think about it, in the last 20 years, which teams that won the Super Bowl had a premier defense? The Ravens?
It's been a while.
Yeah. I mean, you're talking about the Ravens. Tampa's defense wasn't bad this past year.
No, that's what won the Super Bowl. That's how they beat. But they were good offensively are ready. That's a defense that was probably a top 10 defense with an offense that got the consistency it needed behind that defense to put the points up when it needed the points and to know when it needed to kind of just extended a drive.
Yeah.
That's what made Tom Brady. I mean, the Bears beat them. I mean, why? Because the Bears scored 17 points or something. It was on our broadcast. We were watching it live, I think, while we were doing our podcast, I feel like.
Yeah. And Tom Brady forgot it was fourth down.
And Tom Brady forgot it was fourth down. Yep. Yeah. And it's the same thing. So it just, I think it's worth it for Bears fans. What else? I mean, we haven't won a Super Bowl. The Bears fans haven't experienced a Super Bowl, and the Bears haven't won a Super Bowl in 30 some odd years now at this point. Right. 35 now. You know what? Let's maybe get a quarterback and then try and fill it in. Just try. Yeah. I mean, hey, you know what? You know, I do trust. I trust Ryan Pace building a defense, making the most out of his buck. Offensively, I don't. So you get Russell Wilson and let Russell do all that stuff. Yeah. Pace, build the defense. Maybe you bring in like somebody to help Pace out, like offensively, because yes, he's responsible for Drew Brees. Drew Brees isn't a saint without Ryan Pace. But that's you can't rest your hat on that anymore because you've gone through Trubisky and Glennon and it moves there.
Wait, this isn't Wendy's.
Sir, this is an Arby's.
No. Yes, this is an Arby's. We got the meat.
We also have beer spilled all over my shirt now. That's hilarious. I was talking a little bit about the Russell Wilson. I mean, what would you give up, Zoe? What would you give up for Russell Wilson? And don't you say your baby, I'm gonna mute you. Because I would give up my baby, not yours.
No, I would not.
It's cold.
Nice. And by the way, Zoe, I loved the outfit the other day with the Under Armour polo shirt and the Batman pants. I was jealous. I want those.
Yeah, a lot of people. I got that. I thought I'd wear it too.
Guys, I've been wearing that to teach from the waist down like all school year online.
For Russell,
wear pants next week. God dang it!
I would give probably 3 first-round picks and then a defensive name that a starter like Akeem Hicks or.
That's the one guy I said no.
What's the DB's name?
Mac, Fuller.
They would.
Jalen Johnson, I think they would take just because he's got a lot of contract left, and he's
right. But they don't want max contract. Yeah, man. I mean, what is it? 30 years of QB mediocrity.
Oh, it's longer than that. I mean, I was listening to the radio today I was listening to Carmen Yurko, and they started reading out the top 10 Bears receivers of all time.
That's not pretty either.
Johnny Morris is number 1.
Jesus.
I'm gonna throw this out there, by the way. Yumper. I'm gonna give this to Yumper, but Meeker Stillwell. Hold on, before I even judge. They have 0 followers, so this is probably bullshit. Never mind. But it says Chicago Bears Reddit is tracking a private jet from Seattle to Chicago. You know what? A lot of private jets fly from Seattle to Chicago.
Well, now I'm going to look.
Is that Hector Gomez's private jet with the good news?
I think it's
I hope not.
Jet with the Chris Bryant extension offer.
Could it be the jet with
That's real, Luke?
Hold on, I'm confirming right now.
Wait, does this shit get real?
Dude, there's so
Whoa.
There's
Luke's throwing out the it's happening. Well, no. I do know last night, White Sox Dave put a tweet out that said, tomorrow would be a good day for Russell Wilson to become a Bear. And people started asking him, is this a hot take and everything else? I think Beef asked him if it was a hot take, and he wouldn't answer.
Oh, here you go. Mm-hmm. So, 6 hours. This was posted 6 hours ago. Flight watch, direct flight, Seattle to Chicago, in air as we speak. Press conference. Stop it. These people are fucking
bullshit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hey, and look, I understand like people freaking out about the lines being changed. I do know that the lines were pulled a little bit here in Vegas, but that was when they were waiting on the salary cap stuff to come out as well. Yeah. They pull that for that. I got whatever it's worth on January 27th. I bet the Bears plus 5,000 to win the Super Bowl. here in Vegas, it's still sitting at plus 5,000. So if it changed in between that, I missed it. But I do know that before the Super Bowl, even before any decisions were made, before Russell Wilson rumors started, I got the Bears at plus 5,000. It's still plus 5,000. So the betting thing, I don't think is a very much of a heat.
I think it dropped lower than that.
Is it below that now?
Yeah. Hold on.
Let me check. I just want to check. I'm just using station casinos from Vegas. That's my.
And Yumper brings up a good point. It could be another wet butt.
That's
So
fine.
Rick Hahn's in on this too.
Yeah, right.
Ooh. Let's see here.
Team futures, NFL championship, diapers. Nope, they're still at plus 5,000. But yeah, man. I mean, it's.
Well, check this out. Right now. There's a over under Matt Stafford, 28.5 touchdown passes. That's the only prop right now that I'm looking at that I see. That's funny. Bears are still sitting at plus 5,000. So yeah, they haven't changed it, at least in the same app that I used.
Yeah. So who knows?
Oh God, private jet could be code for Sam Darnold.
Hey, it could be Jim Zorn for all we know.
Yeah. Well,
could be Roger Dorn for all we know.
There you go.
I've seen a lot of.
Oh, come on, Dorn, get down on the ball.
I've seen a lot of
this old label shit.
Like anything, I've seen a lot of bad. Like, I don't know. There's just a lot of bad out there. So, and if you were watching earlier, the Parkins and Spiegel show put out the full audio on the Cooper interview. It's on Twitter now.
So you got some good response from some people that are like, I agree. So, I mean, it feels like the optics of Coop, his optics were terrible.
It just sucks, dude.
If he had a PR team, what a bad idea.
Yeah,
I just don't want to feel bad for Cooper, and it just sounded like an old. You just kind of felt bad, like.
Yeah, but I don't want to hear it. So did Riley Reid. Wait, what? Oh shit! Sorry.
No, Cooper was like the old guy shaking his fist at the clouds.
Yeah, and it just seemed like a guy that. Well, yeah, it just.
Dairy apes.
It seemed like a guy that was at the end of the bar, just kind of being like,
yeah,
you know, and it just sucked. I still hold Cooper. I still got respect.
Came in hot.
White Sox gonna fuck some shit up.
Boy. Was that you intentional, or was it just because it was right next to the Y and you were really excited?
I like that energy, Paul.
Boy.
Yeah. So, Mr. Hanna, I know you're part of the show, and I know you can't give away any bracketology or anything, but you excited for this year?
Oh yes, I think a lot of people will be very happy, and also I think there's some wrinkles in it this year that I think people are going to find quite entertaining.
Are there going to be double dare physical challenges?
That'd be
like Sunday slide.
I would not rule out that possibility.
So are there going to be? This is my question because I have, like last year I was just so hard working for Zoe and on Zoe's PR team and his social media advocate. I didn't get to see like a ton of the other stuff. Does this are like people challenge people like, hey, fuck you, I'm going to eat 5 hot dogs. You eat 5 dogs, or you're a bitch. Like, is that how it goes, or is it like, you make stupid jokes, like you make stupid posts, or you make videos, or like what is it? Like, I know that obviously Jimmy's going to kill it with a poem and a Malort.
Yeah. Jimmy's awesome.
And like I said, I know Billy's going to drop some dick pics.
Jimmy put out a second poem.
I saw that today. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
He had to make sure that he had everything on his. He had time on his hands as well as you.
Yes. Yep.
That was great. That was clever, by the way. I mean, he's clever.
Yes. You look at it. I mean, last year, Summer of George just, took it and ran with it. I mean, there's no other way to say it. I mean, some of the stuff he did was incredible. Jimmy, same thing. I mean, Jimmy did some incredible stuff too, especially when he did that TikTok. What the hell is it called? The reverse thing.
Oh, the switch with the makeup, the makeup
and the dress and all that. Yeah. And you also had one that comes to mind last year was, I want to say it was Janice and L. Wills, who were sort of like formed their own alliance.
I mean,
and basically were like asking, what's that?
I said Al Wills is.
What'd you say?
Snark Burley is going through some of those awesome designs, and then Janice is killing it now on NBC Sports Edge. Like, it's just really, I don't know. I got into it earlier. I don't know if you were watching, but like, it's just so fucking cool, man. Yeah. I love all of it.
No, I was on for the whole show. I heard everything you said, and honestly, the credit goes to those three.
Oh yeah.
You know, the wise men of the 108.
Yes, wise. Yes.
Last night I said, how did I put it last night or the night before in the video I posted? It's Jeff Passan's favorite person, Beef Loaf, Chirizi, and the man that women want and men want to be, My Sock Summer.
It's not hyperbole at all.
No, not at all. You know, and
it's good stuff.
Oh yeah.
Do you think that Beef's going to be drinking some UV tonight? By the way, I'm hoping he went to the store to get some UV. Like, I hope they pull out all the stuff.
I think he's still working on cleaning up. Oh yeah, I think Beef is still working on whatever random booze he's got in his closet or in his cabinet, whatever.
Will you announce it? Is there going to be a graphic? Did they create is it a board? Like, how does it?
Have you not seen these before?
I'm just saying, is it? Where are we at in the tech now?
It's literally like watching the March Madness selection show.
Yeah,
like they bracket by bracket.
Yeah,
yeah.
How it works is we'll reveal a bracket, and then we'll talk about favorites, sleepers, and then snarky comments about some of the matchups. And everybody will give their feedback on who they think could win, who they think is going to, bow out in the first round, and everything else you can think of. You always got to make one pick. Like there's a one versus 16. So which one do you think is going to get knocked off? I can tell you my biggest pick last year, the sleeper pick I had for the tournament. This tells you how good I am. I really thought Layla was going to beat White Sox Dave because I'm like, he looks like a gargoyle and she doesn't. So
he looks like a Dorito.
Didn't Ryan Whitney just call him a turtle?
Something like that, yeah.
I mean, is it really nice to call someone a Dorito? Like if you look like a Dorito, your feet smell like Doritos.
I don't think that's a nice thing to say.
I like 3D Doritos, but do you like Doritos? I mean, I like Doritos. Actually, I learned how to drink beer on Doritos, but
I don't think that's a nice thing to say. Yeah, I don't think that's a nice thing to say, but I don't think Dave really cares.
No, it just means he's delicious because Doritos are delicious.
Dave's good people, man.
Yes,
I was going to say, I think it's really cool that he has agreed to bow out of the tournament.
Yes,
be the chancellor because, dude, you can't fuck with that.
That's like Kobayashi saying, "I'm just going to broadcast the hot dog eating championships." Or Joey Donuts saying, "I'm just going to watch this year."
Right, but dude, Dave has that Barstool weight behind him, and Barstool is social media, so it's just like everyone else is making videos, doing all this stuff. Dave throw one tweet out there, and you get 100,000 votes. It's like
if Beef really wanted to go nuts, Beef should pit himself against Jeff Passan because White Sox Twitter will totally side with Beef, and it'll be up to Passan to plug the show accidentally by saying, "Hey, I need these votes," or lose. And like every time he murders Beef, we love it, but there's no chance I would vote for Passan over Beef ever. And that's the best part. Throw it out there. Ooh, it'd be so fun.
I do know that there are some sports writers in the past. Oh, good job. There are some sports writers in the past who refuse to even acknowledge their candidacy.
Yes.
And basically one admitted to muting 108 Tourney on his Twitter feed.
They just wanted to play it hard to get? Or they're playing like that hard to get? Like, if I pretend like she's not calling out, maybe they like me more?
Who knows?
I will be. I'll say this. I'm enjoying this. I have no expectations, by the way. So this make sure I joke about it, but I'm excited for the whole experience. But every time someone asks that, I'm like, I don't care. I mean, I do care, but I'm not gonna. I don't belong.
Right.
I was actually.
I wouldn't necessarily say that.
Before
there has been, and that would be. Isn't who was it? Was it Nam's wife?
Yep.
Yes, that is one. There is another closet Cub fan in there.
I know who you're talking about. I think see, that's why I and it's funny because Mrs. O, she doesn't really fuck around on Twitter, and she knows obviously I do the show, and I talk about stuff with her, and I just went downstairs to help her out with some stuff, and I was like, hey, I'm probably gonna stay around on the computer for a little bit longer. That White Sox Twitter tournament? She's like, oh yeah, that you got really into it the last couple of years. She's like, that's always a good time. I was like, yeah, it's actually starting again tonight. And she's like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. I was like, yes. And I need you to create 50 accounts.
Yeah, exactly. Get busy.
Yes.
I showed my girlfriend Jimmy's video, and I'm like, look, if I make it by chance, will you hold the camera and record it for me? She goes, absolutely not. I'm like, God dang it. So I would be on my own. So now I might create just the KFidds tournament, and it's just me, and I'm going to use this ring and this little cell phone thing, and I'll just make fake videos.
And I know there's another person who last year, when he did not make it to the tournament, created his own tournament.
Yeah.
And he conveniently won it too.
Yeah, I saw that. And yes, you're absolutely right, Jack. I'll be very happy one, I'll be happy to be in the tournament, and two, I'll be happy if I've been very humbled in this tournament. Most
people have. I lost to Wally last year.
Like I said, 2 years. Well, I'm not mad about who I've lost to. In the 2 years I've been in the tournament, the first year I lost to White Sox Dave, and the second year I lost to Beef Loaf. I mean, I'm not really mad about either one of those.
So
you got that far, dude, without even having to show a nipple. I'm just saying.
When I say
you were like Final Four, I want to say.
I won. Wasn't there? Well, there was 8. There was 8 divisions last year, right?
Yeah.
I think I won my division.
Yeah.
You did. You
probably you were either. Yeah, you were like either Elite 8 or Final Four if you lost to Beef.
I won my division because then Beef won the 108 division, and then that's how we met. And then I just started laughing. I was like, "Yeah, I'm not."
I'm reading Jack's comment.
Yep.
The guy I lost to deleted his account.
Would he be in a haze, Jack?
Yeah. But the first year I was in it, I didn't even expect to be in it, and I got in it, and I was like, "Holy shit, this is cool." And then I saw my first round matchup was against White Sox Dave, and I was like, I'm going to really try. I'm going to give it my all. That lasted for like 20 minutes because I refreshed and I was down like 98 to 2%. And I was like, well, let's at least get this I remember telling Aldo, I was like, if I can get this to 10%, I'll take that as a W. And I think I lost 90 to 10. So I was like, all right, I'll take that.
Yeah.
But it's actually a lot
like I said,
yeah, it's more relaxing when you get booted right away because then you can kind of just chill and have fun with it. But
and some of the things I've seen people do is Cameo was pretty big last year. I got the Soup Nazi to do a video for me.
Yeah, I had Joe Creedy.
Yeah, that's right. Cameo was big. Home videos were big. L. Wills, if I remember correctly, was saying the further she goes, the more skin she reveals.
Yeah, I'm not touching that. But yeah, but like you said, the big thing last year was easily Summer of George, which is he just went off with it.
Yeah,
and it was just nonstop entertainment with it, and it was great to watch. And I actually didn't really know George too well before then, and I've talked to him a lot since, and I'm glad I have. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like I mentioned earlier, like very rarely you'll see some people kind of get salty about the stuff and maybe step over a line or two, but no one's really like gotten that bad. The bot stuff always cracks me up. Like someone actually spent money.
Who paid for a cameo? What's the difference between buying bots and a cameo? Let's be honest.
Because now I have a cameo video forever. I'm going to use it again this year.
You can recycle that.
And I did post my cameo video from last year from the Soup Nazi the other day. Just like a oldie but a goodie last year. And the funny thing about the Tourney reveal show, took place 1 year ago. It was the day basically the world shut down because what happened was I was supposed to go to Chirizi's house that night for the show, and about 12:30 in the afternoon at the office I worked in at the time that I haven't been back to since. We got an email saying that they were closing the building because someone tested positive. And so I called them on the way. I said, "Listen, guys, this just happened. I don't think I can do it. I don't think I should go. I don't think I should come over. I don't want to do that."
Probably
good. Yeah. So they hooked me in through Zoom to do it. And if you watch last year's show, you could hear me in the background very, very faint.
I do remember that. I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you in the trunk?
Yeah, exactly. Or in the closet. One or the other.
We got beef in the fridge back here. He's on a meat hook. He owes us a couple dollars.
Yeah.
The other person that I really
got the M&M treatment.
That I really got to get to know.
No, nobody else knows.
After that, one way is who I don't know if you've already made your picks, Aloha, but if you want my humble opinion, I would definitely take a flyer on a sleeper pick of the blonde bombshell down in Florida, the poetry master himself.
No, absolutely.
Mr. Vinicki?
Mr. Vinicki. I mean, the dude is just a content factory. He's one of the most likable guys I've ever seen.
Can I show you guys? By the way, he inspired me on Saturday. I was drinking some beers, so you guys keep talking. But I'm gonna pull up a video here in a second. I'm gonna show you guys what he did.
It is duly noted.
Thank you. Ooh, nice penmanship. Yes.
Jeopardy.
I'm just a fan of the guy. Oh damn, the White Sox are already losing 2-0. God damn.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the guy.
Yeah.
He's a good dude.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. The Malort stuff, is the best part is when he has the missus drink the Malort. Because her facial expressions are the best.
Because mine would be the same. I'll put it out there. I hate Malort.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so bad.
It's so bad.
You got to do it.
I know, and I've done it, and I'm good on it. But yes.
It's funny because Alex Rude made the comment that Fernelli was the only media member who seemed to be in it. True. Well, would you consider like Josh and
no, people get into it.
Yeah, but like I know Josh gets into it, and Jim didn't seem to get into it. I know Herbie got into it last year.
Well, because all the people that you're mentioning are just awesome people. So
yes. Lawrence, because Lawrence Holmes was in it last year, and he was sort of like, eh.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these guys, I mean, you got to respect that they got their own hustle going on. And we talked about it on the show. Like, if I was on a nationally syndicated show, it might be a little bit different. But, I mean, I see us more as like homies than competition,
Oh, so. Yeah. That's how I look at it. I mean, because, the last couple of years I've been in the 108 bracket. So it's like, I know I may go to a certain point, but I don't see me passing Beef, MSS, or Chirizi.
That'd be a tough bracket to come out of. I'll put it that way. It'll be a very
because you got Jeff Passan's bitch. You got the Cheech Marin lookalike.
Don't give up too much of your material right now.
Yeah, hang on to that. Don't spend it all in one place.
Oh no, don't
put it out with your boot, Ted.
This isn't anything new. This is all stuff that's been said before.
You should call my shit poop.
Don't tell me my business, devil woman. It's poop again.
If you're watching this right now and you're on the show, can you tell me how the Reds scored? Because I cannot find it. There's too much going on right now on Twitter. I can't find it.
Oh, that Yumper, thank you very much. You are number 4 in the bracket, but number 1 in our heart.
Fucking,
I want to cry.
Fucking Yumper.
And,
there you go.
Luke, fuck you. Salad region.
He said salad region.
All right, here you go.
That's good stuff right there.
A 2-out, 2-run double by Barnhart off of Raylo for Reds 2-0 going into the top of the second. Lopez allowed 3 hits in the first. Way to go, Raylo. Way to make me sound really smart after I just spent.
I'm on the Raylo bandwagon too.
Everybody is. I mean,
I felt that Raylo was probably the pitcher who gained the most from Coop leaving, because I personally feel that Coop, he can't take a pitcher and build a pitcher from what the pitcher's tools are. He has to mold the pitcher into what he wants the tools to be. You know what I mean? Like, he's a system pitcher. Everyone's got to throw a cutter. You're up 0-2, throw the ball in the fucking batter's box on the ground in the opposite side. I could sit there and call a game watching it, and people will go, "How do you know that?" I go, "Because they're so fucking predictable." I go, Here comes the 0-2 ball in the dirt. Sure enough, hey, there he goes to first base as they walked him.
So I did find the tribute to Jimmy.
Okay.
So Jimmy, this is Saturday, and I was doing a beer tasting. So the food critic here, a really well-known food critic, he's a buddy, I guess we'll call him a buddy. He was a big 108 fan. He'll be watching tonight, I believe. He's the one that I went to his house and he literally
that's right.
108 koozies. I trust him. There's a couple food critics in town that I trust with like my life or my palate, I guess we'll call it. And he's one of them. He's awesome, and he's from I want to say. He's going to yell at me now because I used to think he went to fucking Purdue, and he yells at me every time. He went to go to Purdue, but he went to IMSA. He's an IMSA grad, so Illinois Math and Science Academy down there. Anyway,
I'm not that old.
I think he means me.
Oh, my fault.
He has the Malort. Like, he's the only person I know in Vegas that has Malort. Like, I don't know anybody else with Malort in Vegas. I don't even know how to get Malort in Vegas. I think I could get cocaine much easier than Malort in Las Vegas, but he has them, and he had them all. So this was for Jimmy. This was Saturday night. I was egged on in the DMs by certain individuals who will remain nameless, but here you go. Yeah.
Why did you put them all together?
Because there were 3 bottles. And we were showing them off, and they said, "I dare you to do all 3." I'm an idiot.
That's nothing.
My girlfriend had to pick me up Saturday night. I feel so terrible. I texted her. I'm like, I thought she was picking me up, and my buddy's like, "Is she coming?" I'm like, "I think so." And he probably wanted to get me the hell out of his house. And I'm like, I got home. I was in bed at like 8:30 p.m. on Saturday night.
Moncada just hit a double.
But that right there was the end of me. It wasn't the mead or the high alcohol volume beer. It was that I at that point.
Can I
memory's
jump
a bit
in
hazy.
Can I jump in and answer a couple questions here?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple. So I want to respond to Willie and to Mailman Jack about Portillo's chopped salad and how I feel about O2 walks. They're both shit.
Fair.
Continue.
Fair answer. Wrapped it all up and nicely into one little package.
Yeah. And do you know how the whole salad thing came about? Did you ever hear this story?
I think I've seen it play out, but go ahead.
Jeff the Giant, one night he's in Hawaii for vacation, and he posts on Twitter, "Should I have this salad or should I have this steak?" And it's a tomahawk steak, and we lost Mad Max.
Oh no, I was just going to the bathroom.
Yeah, he's just taking off.
But I muted this time so I don't knock the cans over for Lou. Smart ass.
So Jeff the Giant decides, he tweets everybody, says, "Should I have this tomahawk steak?" And it looks fantastic. Turns out he orders a salad and says, "Oh, I have to get on a plane the next morning." Like,
I remember this. I remember this.
So that is forever his cross to bear, asking everybody about a tomahawk steak, then ordering a salad.
I remember this. I remember this.
So if you ever hear me say "fuck salads," it's all what it relates to.
I definitely remember this.
Mm-hmm.
I remember watching it play out.
Yeah.
Fitz, the honorary Sox fan, is going to make the run in the tourney, ain't he? I don't even know if he's in the tourney. We're just hoping he's in. If he's in, I can guarantee you if he's in, he will give it his all. We'll put it that way.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind about him giving it his all.
He will give it his all.
Yeah.
He's been like a little kid about this shit. Like he's fucking yeah. And Fitz doesn't half-ass shit.
No.
You guys have seen his movies that he made and like all that stuff. Like,
yeah. How did you play that for your wife?
I did, and she was like, I can't believe this shit. Like that these people actually like you. Like this is insane. I was like, yeah, this is extremely dope. And actually, as a quick follow up, Jack had my parents' neighbor Hank on the video, the older gentleman.
Yeah.
And I saw him actually the following weekend because I was at my parents' house with my son, and I saw Hank outside. I was like, "Hey, Hank, thanks for the birthday shout out on the video." And he just looked at me like I had 15 heads. He was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And I was like, "Be good, Hank." And then he started talking about my parents' gutters and all this other stuff, and I was like, "I love it, Hank, man. I love it, dude."
Yeah.
I see that I will not half-ass it in the comments. What does that mean?
Oh, someone asked like if you're in the tournament, you're gonna make a run, and I said if Kevin's in the tournament, get ready because he is not gonna half-ass it. He will make videos. He will be chugging shit. He's in
problems.
it. I'm like, yeah, he'll get into it, and he's gonna give it his all, and you're gonna get his. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I got pizza puffs. If you want me to eat, I'll eat pizza puffs. Actually, I would someone to eat for dinner.
Why would that be? You say that like that's a bad thing, dude.
Yeah,
I'll be the pizza puff eater guy.
Yeah. Well, I think you should reach out to KB and say, "Hey, make a video for me."
No, whoa. Time out. First of all, if you're gonna reach out to KB to do something, he needs to be on this show. It still hasn't happened yet.
No, I actually I decided that in the best interest of his PR and optics, it probably is best that KB keeps his name out of the one-way tournament.
Yes, that's
considering what I may be doing myself. Now, Chasen, I will make sure he endorses me because he's been on the show. And, he's been in one of these sound stream yards far after we were done. Yeah, it's a little different.
Let's not forget who drafted Jason on their fantasy baseball team. Wasn't you, Coach?
Yeah,
I told him that, Coach. And that's why he's going to shit the bed until you trade him to me. he's going to be bad until no. That what really kind of sucks today is that he had one of those showcase days today because the Zach Britton went down with the Yankees, and I don't think he'll even make it. I don't even if it's not the Yankees. I don't think he's going to finish the spring as a Pirate. I think that he'll either end up with the Rays, the Blue Jays, or the Yankees.
Yeah,
even though today he gave up 3 runs.
He had a rough day today.
He had one of those rough days where he came in with a guy on base, and then he didn't get a clean inning, so he came in and he gave up. He got an out, and then a single, double. I think it was a single. It was 3 hits, and then he paid a guy.
He was Alex, and then we saw the stat line, and we're like, we're not gonna bug Jason today.
No, and his routine too. Like he has to drive 45 minutes home today after everything, so he has to do all of his rehab stuff. He has to go run. He has to go do the bike. He has to do his cupping. Cupping is a thing, by the way. Major league players cup, not jockstrap.
Does it? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, they all do it. But so it's a drive. And I told him, I go, look, we'll do it another time. He loves being on here.
Oh,
he loves it. Actually, he wanted to be. He's like, because last time we got done, he didn't want to get off, so him and I stayed on. Like, well, by the time it was over, he was sending what's that app where you can play like stupid game, like board games, like House Guest or something.
Yeah.
The whole the morning, like, why do I have like a 10:30 invite from Chasen for House Guest? What the hell? And it was like from him and like one of his buddies that they played that was on his team as well. And I'm like, you dorks.
I'm looking at the stat line today. He got hit with the blown save, 1 inning pitch, 4 hits, 3 runs, all earned.
4 hits. Okay,
One-
so it was a
1 strikeout.
double single. Was it a double single, double single? I think it was in the strikeout.
And it against Baltimore too, which you hate to see that.
Which is in the East.
Is he on a minor league?
He's in a minor league deal, but he's been. It's one of those.
He's probably going to get. So he'll probably get cut by the Pirates at the end of the year, free to go wherever he can sign.
No, you mean after spring training?
Yes.
No, he's going to make the squad. Like he's been one of the best pitchers. He's he's one of those guys that they signed. He's a guy that they want. Like obviously he's got to perform, but they assume he will perform, and then he'll be rostered, and then he's a guy that the Pirates will probably flip at the trade deadline. I mean, it's
that's true.
It's what those small market teams do.
Yeah,
they just need him to be good, and he's fine. Normally, today was just one of those days. Like again, you can also look at this again. You look at it and you get context, and context is he didn't start as a clean inning; he came in relief. So you look at maybe teams will go, well, okay, perhaps he's not the guy we throw in. Guys on second and third,
right.
When you need like more than one out in that circumstance, but he's the guy that when he goes out for a clean inning, dominant. Like again, last year, I was so shocked. The Mets cut him for, I think it was financial purposes, but I was shocked that they cut him. He was their best pitcher last year. Like statistically, he had one bad game in the last like week of the season. That if you take that one bad outing out, he was dominant.
Like like Alex said, he's been balling out over there. I mean, he just had a shit day today. So
it happens. Relievers. Some days it rains. Sometimes.
And we've talked about it. It sucks because they don't get that volume. So one bad, better than DeGrom. I'd argue it. A
lot more appearances.
They don't get that volume. So that one bad inning is going to jack his ERA up.
Yeah,
I guess I meant bullpen. By the way, sorry, unprotected. Smart ass.
Better than DeGrom.
I love you.
Actually, here real quick, Kev, screenshot this and say we were talking about Jason and send it to him. That might help him out.
That's better than DeGrom.
Yeah.
Man 4. All right, and screenshotted.
There you go.
And
I love having text messages on my desktop. There we go.
Yeah.
Love Max.
And also ask him to ask Todd Frazier if he still has his Chris Sale Jersey Demolition T-shirt.
Oh yeah, from the 108. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. He says all good. All right. What time is it? I got to double check East Coast time. Got to make sure it's not too bad.
So it's 8:30.
Perfect. He's probably chilling. Probably playing like Fortnite.
Yep. Yeah. Look at that. I mean, dude, he's 12.2K per 9.
Talking about how good a spring you've had.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Until today, because you're a little.
Don't put that in there. Why would you put that in there? Don't put that in there.
Build the guy up. What?
Build him up, coach.
Yeah.
Build him up. Build him up, coach.
Look, you don't tell me what to do. No, I always bust his balls. That's the best part. He knows I can say. That's why he knows that he sees the ellipses. And he knows that it's coming. He knows that it's until today.
I did see this video.
Yes.
I definitely saw this video. I don't know. Why is he wearing number 99?
Because 21's taken. 21's retired in Pittsburgh.
Okay. Well, did not piece that together.
It took me a minute when I saw him in 99.
Alex dropped it right there. That's not bad for a reliever, man.
And that was last year. That was his in 2020. But no, that is not bad at all for a reliever.
No, and when you miss barrels as a reliever, you can work in.
I would take that
the jams. I wanted the Cubs to pick him up so bad, and less as a homer, and more as like the Cubs need good lefty relievers that can get righties out, and he gets right-handers out well. That splitter is just filthy. And this is actually something. Not to
say miss barrels.
But I mean that's what you want, right? But he performs in Pittsburgh. It's a trade deadline possibility. I mean, if the White Sox need a lefty to bolster at the end,
buddy, did you not miss the first? the half hour of
I'm
the
just
show.
praying to God that there was a way that he played Chicago. Like
I know, but the
him
first
and
half
Chris,
hour
if
of
he
the
was on the
show,
Cubs, my brain would explode. It would be terrible.
yeah, the first half hour of the show is literally me verbally blowing the White Sox bullpen. So
It's true.
it's pretty crowded in
But
there.
if there's a
right
gap, if there's maybe like you never know. You never know. Like just with Zach Britton, you never know.
now. Mhm.
There it
KB and Jason to the Sox. We'll take
Done.
it. Let's go. It's called the
Jerry Reinsdorf's like,
Reinsdorf. One of the Sox minions that monitor podcast heard this and is just like, hey, if we call this KFidds guy on pinwheels, maybe we can get KB here.
I know that if they called me, they could get me some tickets. That's about it.
Oh,
Like, what?
hold on.
Yeah, but let's talk about the ticket stuff.
Yeah.
Did any of you guys get tickets? Like, I know I had Luke is a first time season ticket owner and in the 108. Are you not, right? Right, Luke? Did you get seasons in the 108? I believe that the ticket rep even knew him. Like, oh, the 108. Yeah, I love those guys. Like,
Wait, but Mr. Ham, explain to me this pod system.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get. I saw the emails that went out. I don't get it.
So it's so you're talking about this email?
Yeah, that one, the priority access
one?
email that people.
oh, not the one that says I am a Nigerian prince, and
Yeah.
if you have seven, that's a different. I got.
Yeah.
I answered that
Yeah.
one. I totally
So
let the guy use my
how
account.
it
was
works
cool.
is, so how it works is there are days for they're starting with season ticket holder, full season ticket holders first, and then it's breaking down by seniority of full season ticket holders. Now, I believe the first wave goes at 10 a.m. Tuesday morning, because I know some people who have had tickets for 30 plus years who have gotten 10 a.m. I am in the 1 o'clock on Tuesday wave. That's when I become eligible to purchase them.
And how long
how
have
it
you had
works is you can
tickets?
purchase 17 years for full season tickets.
Right.
I was buying partial plans before that because I went and bought full season tickets because I paid off my student loans. That was my gift to myself for paying off my student loans.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Good gift.
So
Yeah, I like that.
yeah. With what I
Yeah,
was
you
paying, it's
student
like,
loan
oh
tickets,
yeah, I can afford this.
That's how you got the Raiders tickets
but-
was from the student loan.
Yeah.
You're going to get to have that too. Vegas is you just got
From the
that.
savings from the student
Yeah.
loan for 15 years.
Vegas today they said that they're
But-
vaccinating all of the casino workers and all the whatevers, which means come May, this place is about to become the Roaring 20s 2.0. Like this is going to be.
Yeah.
Which also means, though, you're going to finally get to use those tickets. You're going to be able to come here and check out a game at the Raiders Stadium. And the Bears may, if they do the 17th game, the Bears will be the team that plays here in Vegas. Incredible.
I know. I'm waiting anxiously to find out.
That's
but-
cool.
So you can buy tickets in these pods that are sized anywhere from 1 to 6 seats. Now, the one thing they did that I was shocked, to be completely honest with you, I have 2 seats for the White Sox. They do not limit the number of seats you can buy in that pod, meaning I would have thought they would say, since you only have 2 season tickets, you can only buy a pod of 2. No, I could buy a pod of up to 6.
And is the cost per seat the same as your season ticket cost per seat?
They have not released the ticket prices yet.
That's I'm interested.
But what
in
they're
that.
doing, but what they're doing is, so they've taken the money that was paid, because I let my money stay there, for last year. I didn't pull it out or anything. I just told them to keep it because they paid interest. But they paid 5% interest, and the ticket prices went up 6%. Go figure. But
makes sense.
Yeah. So.
Iowa State's, by the way, sorry, Sean, I'm going to interrupt this. Iowa State's going to hire TJ Otzelberger in the offseason. He's going to leave UNLV and be the new Iowa State coach. Just going to throw that in there. Sorry, keep going. That'd be relevant.
So, but you have to, like, the first wave is spread out between Tuesday and Wednesday, I believe. Because Wednesday is when all the partial plan
here
ticket holders go.
Well, here you go, Mr. Han. It looks like our factician on the show, Alex,
Okay, good.
talked to his rep, and he said that this cost per seat is going to be the same as your season ticket cost per seat.
Oh, perfect.
He had a guy.
Perfect. Yep, perfect. So let's just say I heard from a lot of people today.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm not getting tickets till Wednesday. Can I get in your pod? I'm like, well, yes.
Yeah.
So, with certain people, I said, well, that's going to cost you. You know what I mean?
You're going to buy the whole. You're buying
no,
beers.
No.
Not that bad.
No, this is going to cost something else, but we won't go there.
Does it involve 5 fingers and a thumb? Wait.
And then,
wait, no,
and
never
then
mind.
what I saw was everything's a cashless transaction.
Yes,
all the food has to be wrapped. So it's
they're doing like the pre-wrapped stuff.
Yeah, all the pre-wrapped stuff.
You can't get like a fresh pulled hot dog or anything like that.
No, nope. All giveaways are, canceled for the short term. There's no giveaways, no post-game fireworks shows.
Because that spreads COVID.
Yes. Yeah. No Dollar Dog Wednesdays, and I know King Nam is heartbroken by that.
Yeah, it's weak sauce.
Yeah. Yes. So you have all that, and then because the first wave of Tuesday and Wednesday, you could buy, you can only buy all 7 games of the first homestand, and it's only the first homestand. So you could go there like Tuesday night when it's 40 degrees.
Is this the kind of stuff that happens on this Betweener show?
Well, last week, Jack was on here last week with us, with Luke. And
I was on for a little bit.
He would just say it out loud.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and take that PointsBet logo off the screen. Yeah.
We're gonna. What do we got here? What kind of logos do we have?
Here's
the new logo for this hour.
I'm going to say something.
That's the new logo.
Hey, Jack. Yeah. Hey, Jack, how's that tongue work? Just asking.
Oh, no. This is getting... This escalated quickly.
He just basically look at that.
Holy. Oh, my goodness. We got burgers going on.
Yeah. So, Willie, I think the reason the fireworks thing went away is they just want to get people out of the park as soon as possible.
Yes. They don't want lollygaggers and people make babies under fireworks. So,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this is troubling. I'm a little troubled by the Ask Hank comment by Jack. I need him to come on and defend himself because.
But in the grand scheme of things,
Hank is alluring and all.
Prepackaged food, cashless translation, no fireworks, to me, that's worth it to have fans in the stands.
And designated seating areas, so you can only stay in a certain area. They're going to have them all roped off.
If you've ever gone to a Sox game with me, that is damn near impossible for me to do. I wander when I go to Sox games. I sit for the first 4 or 5 innings, and then I usually have about 6 beers in me. And
the best part of the game is to wander.
It's time to wander.
Don't tell me you do a buzz.
No, I don't do buzz.
You are buzzed, but you're not doing a buzz.
I am buzzed, but I don't do a buzz. But
you say that, Zoe, you remind me, like, here at bars, like, again, even during hockey, like Golden Knights games, I'm like you, except on a smaller scale. I'm an asshole that even during this pandemic, during the Golden Knights playoffs, or even recently, we were watching it. There's a brewery down the street from our house. Every goal, I do the fucking I'm masked up, but I do the high five around the whole fucking thing. And when I get to the end, I always position it so that the last high five is directly towards the bathroom, and I go right in and wash my hands. Bartenders love it; they think it's hilarious. Most of the people, except for the old lady, one time was really like pissed off, but everybody else was like, "Oh!" And then the manager's like, "Stop." That's me at a ballpark. I can't not wander the ballpark. I cannot. I'll stay in my seat. Like if it's a good seat, that's great. But I really do enjoy like what you're talking about. So you wander around, you hear the chatter. You smell the difference. There's different smells in the parts of the ballpark. There really is. And you can interact with people.
I've lived on the south side of Chicago for now 37 years, minus 5. But if I go to a Sox game, even if I go by myself, I can walk around. I'm going to run into somebody.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I'll go to now I go to, around the 108 area, and one of you guys is always there. so I can pop in and say what's up, and then you just walk around and you just run into people. It's awesome.
Yep.
And now, especially with White Sox Twitter being a thing, I go to a game, I got a couple hammer, I throw one of these, and yo, I'm in section, blah blah blah. I'm gonna run into somebody. You know what I mean?
Said everything to you instead of Jack. I'm so fucking stupid. Sorry. Ignore your DMs, Pete. Ignore your DMs.
What did I do this time?
Nothing. I thought it was the one that was like you and me and Pete, but it was just you. So I'm like, hey, you gotta come on to defend yourself because talking about handies over here. And
all right, boys. I'm getting the text from the missus, so I'm gonna go help out a little bit, and then I'll be watching the 108 show at 8:30, of course. Yeah. I'll be on Twitter. I'll talk to you guys.
Good luck tonight.
Good, man. Have a good night.
That's that makeup table. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I totally sent it to you. So now I sent it to the group, our little group DM. But oopsie, I'm like, why is he not responding? What a dick. He's still in here talking about fireworks, and he's ignoring my DM. I don't know. I slid it right in those DMs.
So I don't know if they're doing home run fireworks. I know that the post game fireworks shows are not happening in the short term.
Is it just because they don't want people lingering at the ballpark?
I think that's it. To be honest,
it makes sense. Like, better safe than sorry. Like, it's gonna have to start slow. You have to be thankful. It's gonna be better, but. Everyone, you give them an inch and everyone's pissed off they didn't get the mile. And be thankful you were supposed to get nothing, and now you're getting something. And compared to last year, it's already a win.
Yeah. So it's funny because last week, Lori Lightfoot, the wonderful mayor of Chicago, who I tell everybody looks like Beetlejuice.
Yep. Beetlejuice and some Chucks.
Yes. She made the comment that I feel comfortable that there will be fans in the ballpark sometime this season. Everybody immediately jumped and said, oh, there's no fans for opening day. That's not what she said. What she said was there will be fans at some point this season. I go, and I said to all of them the same thing. Let me ask you a question. I'm going to see a game in Milwaukee at some point this season. When am I going? It's impossible to answer.
Can I tell you when the virus is gone? You're asking like, what the hell?
Yeah.
But I feel really bad too. And he came on the show. Evan Altman, he's a Cubs writer, but
Cubs writer.
When Cap dropped the bomb, like again, Cap doesn't really vet shit. Let's be honest. He doesn't vet shit, but when some of his sources tell him stuff, he just rolls with it. And most of the time, because he throws out so many lawn darts and he eventually hits somebody in the leg, he'll plug the hell out of that lawn dart. He ignores all the other fuck ups, and that's fine. That's what a good reporter. That's what a good personality does. They conceal their hot takes. You get you're hitting you're batting 100, but god dang, those tags are cool. So that's what he kind of did with these, and the fact that he said this, but then Evan talks to somebody else, and they're like, "Look, we have no plans right now. Nothing is going forward right now." Cap could have talked to somebody that was like, "Dude, it's totally going to open." It doesn't mean there's really they had no real thing, but it was someone that worked there just saying, I feel like it's going to open. And they report that. Yeah. Boom. Evan spoke to people that were like saying, no, there's no plan right now. And he goes, look, here's the report. There's no plan right now. And he even said it. He disclaimed it. People just don't read on. He disclaimed saying it might change, but as of today, there is zero plans for this. So whatever the source is, there's nothing confirmed with anybody in the real building that is like, there's no plan, like there's no physical tangible plan. And then of course, when things came up, of course, Cap had to throw out the fucking salt because again, the corporate media types hate the people that are doing it on the ground because they've been doing it better. And your corporate media types got to kiss ass and carry the water for Crane Kenny and for Reinsdorf and do all whatever the fuck you do. But then he jumps out and he jumps on Evan. And I'm telling you right now, Evan's one of the most stand-up dudes I know on Twitter, especially in Cubs Twitter, period. He's a fantastic reporter. I loved him on the show, but everything that he writes, I read. Like, he is excellent. He is well-trusted. I can tell you right now, he is well-trusted by the Bryants. And you get something from Chris Bryant, from Evan Altman, trust it. It's true. And they love him. They love him to death because he's an honest guy and he tells them this is the truth. This is what I'm going to write. He doesn't tell them what he's going to write. But I mean, he like says, look, this is what the story is about. I'm asking you this question. And they give him the truth. They trust him. They trust him with being open. They know that he's not going to twist their words into some clickbait bullshit. I guess is the way to put it. Because a lot of times reporters, they take what you get and they're like, oh, I can twist this. I can twist this into something. I can make this a good headline that I'm going to get some, and that's what some of those guys do, especially in this time. They're desperate because people are getting canned left and right. And so you have people that are desperate. So they're going to throw everybody under the bus because it's like those zombies in World War Z that are climbing up the wall. They're going to climb over everybody to make sure they get over that damn wall. And so he jumped down, like he was like, oh, I guess I'm, an idiot. And then Jesse jumps in. Jesse, Mr. Be Better, hashtag Be Better. Like the guy that got shit on all off season for Jesse Rogers. He got the guy that got he got murdered on Twitter by KB when he tried to allude to KB saying that baseball's not fun, and he got destroyed. And again, the corporate media types have been wrong all off season. They've misreported. And I feel like the groundwork has been really done by the people that are like the Evan Altmans of the world, the 35ths, I'm talking the people that are actually like in there. They're not just they talk to the players. They're not talking to Jed. They're not talking to the PR team. They're talking to the dudes. They're talking to the guys in the clubhouse because the guys in the clubhouse like them and they trust them. And those are the people you got to really have to jump into.
There's also another group that you really need to pay attention to. I hear the occasional White Sox thing, and I'll give you a couple of examples of things that I heard in the last couple of years. Unfortunately, I knew Farmer was getting his last rites before it was publicly announced. Someone reached out to me and said, hey, 24, 36 hours max. He's getting he's a Catholic, St. Rita boy. Zoe would know that.
You have to hear that. It's gonna come through eventually.
Yes. He's getting his last rites, 24, 36 hours tops. So I had mentioned it to a couple people saying a guy I know told me this. I got my ass handed to. How can you say that? That's so disgusting. And what made it worse, it was on April 1st because he died on April 2nd. So okay. So I got tipped off on something else earlier this year, and the news just came out a week or two ago that Todd Steverson was returning to the White Sox organization as some kind of special scout or something like that. And how I found this out was because Todd Steverson was drunk off his ass in Scottsdale telling people in a bar. And I got, hey, FYI, Steverson's in this bar saying the Sox hired him back, but he's really drunk, so I don't know whether or not it's true.
That is also why the people on the ground matter most. They are in the bars that the same players are getting wasted at.
Yep.
Cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha.
Yep.
Hey, they're humans like us, man, and they're frustrated, and you get them a couple shots. That's why, again, bless his heart, KB doesn't drink. But God, if he was a party dude, I'm sure if he was somebody that was like, I can't comment, but I'm just saying there are some party dudes in that clubhouse.
Oh yeah.
Well,
we know a certain Sox player was in Northwest Indiana last season.
There's some stoners in that clubhouse. I mean, there's some McDonald's lovers in that clubme's. There's some Pepsi Cola lovers in that clubhouse.
I know there's some Domino's pizza lovers in the White Sox clubhouse.
Yep. I mean, it happens. It's a clubhouse,
and some Twinkie lovers too.
Twinkie lovers. Now, how many Twinkies can they eat during a game is the question. Because I hear that there's a story about somebody crushing some McDonald's between innings, which rivals some of the greatest feats we'll ever see on 4th of July. Yeah, which is great.
Well,
I love clubhouse tales. So clubhouse tales are clubhouse tales, man, and that's why again, you hear there's a legend and then there's the truth, and so that's the fun part. Is like clubhouse. There are some the Wade Boggs story that inspired the whole "It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia" episode.
Oh, the beers on the airplane.
Yeah, that's a sanctum.
Yeah,
and so you can tell people, but even the stuff that I will say this, I've been told a few things that are
interesting,
disconcerting, or interesting, and other things are awesome, like badass. But you're like, I would love to tell you the story. It's not my story to tell, but I love hearing the story, and thank God I heard this story because it just makes me see things a little different. But this is not for public consumption. That's the inner sanctum. The inner sanctum also can be shared with trusted people that don't spill the beans. And holy crud, my dad is on here now, so there goes the cussing.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, Dad.
But let me just say one thing, Yumper. I take it you went to St. Rita.
He did.
I will have you know, Yumper, that I went to Gage Park. I used to live at 60th and Fairfield. which was 2 blocks away from St. Rita's church and grammar school. I just had to say that to Yumper because I'm sure if he went to Rita, he knows the area.
He does. And, he was, 2 years younger? Yep. Were you 2 years younger than Zoe, I think? 3 years? Yep. 2 years. Yep. See, I remember. I got some memory.
Yeah.
And then you're like, hey, Zoe, we went to school together. And Zoe's like, I don't know you. Did I shove you in a locker? Because Zoe was like, I'm a big dog. Nah, just kidding. Zoe would never be that way. But
well, because
a year younger than Zoe.
Yeah, because Zoe told me he went to the, I almost said the Quigley Seminary. We used to call it Squiggly Seminary. That he went to the Squiggly Seminary location, not the Claremont location. So I don't know why you're at Old St. Rita. Who's that?
Let me see who's that. Oh God, and my mom. Oh,
hi, Mom.
This is a family affair tonight. I was just looking up. Okay, well, actually, you don't want to know what I'm looking up because I'm trying to figure out where my buddy's girlfriend went in high school. But the search on my thing says Catholic Girls School, Chicago. So that's not a good search engine. I'm just looking for the school. I want to make sure it's over there.
Lourdes, Maria.
They were the sister school of Notre Dame. And no,
it wasn't Lourdes. It wasn't Maria.
Oh God.
Well, your parents are on, so I can't use the terms we used to use for the girls who went to Lourdes and Maria.
Oh, yeah, man. You have to hold back when we're here, but I can't remember the school now.
Was it Mother Macaulay? No,
it was like, is there a St. Anne's? Like St. Anne Catholic? There's St. Anne's.
Okay.
They were St. Anne. Well, that's an elementary school. Isn't that there's a middle school there though? No. Whatever. Their sister school was Notre Dame. That was like basically my freshman year of college was my buddy Johnny, he dated her. So like we would go down to meet her. So I would have to go with because I was the one with the car and he didn't have a car. So driving my 1988 Ford Escort that I named Herbie all the way down to Chicago, which was sometimes an adventure. Sometimes not, but we would go down there and that was the whole crew. Like that's what I'm trying to the St. Rita's crew. Like it sounds like, again, there's like the Catholic school sex in Chicago. Like even like you guys on the south side, you're like, I went to St. Rita's, and then you're like, oh, I did too. And Yumper knew Zoe, and Zoe had you're in your little world. It's crazy. It's just that's again the cool part of Chicago. Like everybody kind of inadvertently knows everybody in a weird way.
Yeah, I had my communion and confirmation at St. Rita. The good little Catholic boy that I was.
We were always down at Moody Bible Institute. That's what we used to call it. Moody Bible. The big old campus. But
yeah, we used to play baseball and we used to play fast pitch in the way St. Rita's grammar school was laid out. There was like a parking lot in the middle between the rectory and the school. So we used to play fast pitch in there. We'd always be chased out.
Oh, the mush balls. I introduced I had a mush ball. I don't know how I had a mush ball. And like when I moved out here, I apparently had a mush ball in my trunk. And so I've had this mush ball forever. And I brought it out to baseball one year at Bonanza. And the guys are like, what the heck is that? Nobody knows what mush ball is out here. No clue. And you guys know what there it is. Boom. I mean, that's obviously really clean. Every mush ball I've ever used looks like it's been rolled through like.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Taffy, this one, like a factory.
I actually found this one day at a company I used to work for. They used to have a softball league, and we were going through shredding some old records, and we found a box of these, so I just took it. I'm like, that's awesome. I just need this for the hell of it, because I used to sit there,
work on the splitties,
splitties.
That's weird, isn't it? Look at my right hand compared to my left hand. That's weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I used to work on the splitties.
Good call. Young players out there, all 12 of you watching.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Just like that.
Did you see the drills this week? I think it was the Diamondbacks. They were using they were doing ragball drills with the pitchers. So they were doing PFPs, and they were working on like hot comebackers because wiffle balls don't work. Oh yeah, ragballs do pretty good. I'm not going to leave much of a mark. And they're just hitting just piss missiles at them, and love it. Like it was like a contest. They're having I would pay money to be able to sit through these practices more than anything else. I would pay money. I would pay the same amount I would pay to go watch a baseball game. Nice. That's a little bit of a Vulcan, little kind of like kind of changey, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh, that hurts my groin, and which is weird.
Well, the funny thing is, I was playing hard 16-inch in high school, and I was playing right field, and someone hit one, lined up for it, caught it, and it got wedged in. And I tried to throw it, it wouldn't come out. I had to run in with it.
A break though.
No, it wouldn't come out. So I had to run into the gym teacher. It got stuck because I wound up breaking both these fingers, or I should say dislocating them. So the gym teacher goes, "Why didn't you throw it?" I'm like, so he takes me inside, sticks the pencil in my mouth, and goes, "Hold on." And
that happened to him.
Yeah.
If you haven't had your fingers popped into place, you haven't played sports. Probably.
That's true. That's totally true.
I mean, there's some, but you know, it's kind of funny today. And we tell our guys this all the time too. Like, if you're going to go to the doctor, you're going to be shut down 4 to 6 weeks, no matter what.
Yep.
It's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have to understand that you remember the movie, The Program, James Caan comes out, by the way, who had fingers that were so messed up. Like he caught a rag ball that way.
Jack says he's on, by the way.
Oh, Jackson. Oh, he is not.
Yeah.
I don't see him.
Oh.
Oh,
he said.
Hold on. I'm going to send him.
He said he's on.
Let me try this again.
Yeah.
Maybe I missed him. Maybe was he in there the whole time? Maybe I was just too busy talking.
He's talking about new clinchers there. Clinchers are fun, Jack.
Where are you at? Nope, that's not it.
There.
I sent him the link. Oh.
Yeah.
I got to jump in. Jack, check the DMs again. Is there? Jack.
Yeah, I got it.
Run home, Jack. Run home, Jack. And so, by the way, we're gonna go off the rails a little bit. 1 week from today, we're gonna be able to watch Zack Snyder's Justice League cut, and I'm a little bit pumped about that. So, like this, I don't know.
Oh, nice!
That's a week from today.
About time.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good one. But
yeah,
holy smokes!
Where are you, Jack?
There it is. Yep. See, so my grandpa was a huge 16-inch softball player.
Yeah.
So my pappy is bringing it up. This is my dad, guys. Hey, welcome to this is his. I'm his spawn. I guess.
Yeah,
you guys have heard me talk about him on the show before, so it's good.
Yes, that's true. I used to play at Curie, at Strohacker, Kelly. And I got a funny story about playing it. Well, I wasn't playing at Kelly Park yet because I was too young. I was still in high school at this point. Have you ever heard the song "Willie the Wimp" by Stevie Ray Vaughan?
Yes.
So Willie the Wimp is about a
BRB,
guy
by the way.
All right. Oh, I guess I lost him. So Willie the Wimp's about a guy called Fluky Stokes, who was a gang leader in Chicago, and he sponsored a softball team. They were called the Pink Flamingos, and all of them looked like Luis Robert. That's how they were all built. They all ran like the wind and hit the crap out of the ball. They all wore pink uniforms too. So they show up one time at Kelly Park to play in a tournament, and Fluky Stokes shows up. And this is before, and the song Willie the Wimp talks about, Willie the Wimp buried in his Cadillac coffin. That's because that's how Fluky Stokes went out. And he showed up at Kelly Park to watch his team. And if anyone's ever been to Kelly Park, you have those those high school bleachers on both sides of the dugouts on the first and third base side. He went to the third base side, and everyone else on the third base side moved over to the first base side because they were afraid they were going to be whacked or caught in the line of fire with him getting whacked. I was just telling him about Fluky Stokes and the Pink Flamingos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there we go. Trying to get my man Jack. I was trying to get the other shot in there, but
yeah. But I need to jump off.
Is it time now?
Not quite yet, but I need to jump on for a couple minutes beforehand just to go through some things.
Oh, it is. It's 4. Oh God, it's 6.
Yeah.
We went. Actually, I thought you said. Oh, we went way beyond 45, didn't we?
Yeah, no worries.
Okay.
No worries. All right. So I will talk to everyone in about 25 minutes or so.
Stick around, kids.
Yeah, stick around. You'll have fun. All right. Talk to you guys later.
It's fun. We'll see you in a sec, Pete.
See ya. Bye.
So I guess we'll put a pin into it because Mailman Jack's not going to make it. But are you guys ready? We got about 24 minutes, which means it's time to go make a pizza puff. It's time to put on some stretchy pants, maybe some Zubas. We got them. And tune into the 108. So, guys, thanks for showing up. Everybody in the chat's been a blast. You're here, but you're not in. I mean, it's just me right now, which is slightly awkward. You're just in the chat now. Did you check your DMs there? I mean, I can go solo. I can go solo the whole show. I can go Han Solo. We need to let Jack in. I'm trying to get. I sent him the link. I don't know what's going on. Did you check your DMs? What's going on here? I said, did you try this? Did you get that one? We need Run Home Jack. We need it, and we need more Hank stories. We also need. We need some of the fringe 108 tournament 108 yoers. So let's see here. Buzz is here. All right. Well, I'm like, hi, I'm in Delaware. No, kidding. Jack, where you at? I do feel like I'm really like actually just begging for Jack at this point, but I did kind of touch on it. I mean, go a little bit movie style here too, but I know that the 108 tournament, they're going to be doing the selection here. What are some of your guys' favorite accounts and why? Like, that's a really good. You want a KB story? Okay. Did I tell you guys a story about when he exploded his bat on an aluminum bat during the spring break tournament? And basically, we tried to argue it was a homer, but it hit the top of the yellow. It wasn't the same thing. Or do you want to hear the time that we robbed a bank together? It was pretty cool. It was it was a liquor store, but he wore the ski mask. I didn't. It was fine. It was in the Bonanza area. It's cool. No. But no, this is going to be pretty cool. So, Luke is our resident beer guy. So Luke and Beer Garden Jim, I do have to say this. Beer Garden Jim was judging me a little bit on Saturday. Before we got to the, oh, there he is. Yes. He's got that gator on too. We're ready for that bandana stuff. Boom. There it is.
You know what? There's a little thing I forgot to press.
See, it's always user error.
Yeah,
that's okay. I was just over here desperately seeking help because I was like,
blame you, but it was all my fault.
How you doing?
Good. How's it going?
It is going. We are now how many minutes out? Are you ready? Because you have to believe that you're probably a mid seed at worst here in this thing coming out in about 22 minutes?
8:08. We got 22 minutes to screw around.
Absolutely. And we can talk music. Luke, actually, you know what? Let's bring our music crew on here, actually. Luke, check your DMs. We're going to talk some music again. You sent me a really good link today. Or was it today or yesterday from Fish? Great live show.
Oh, have you been seeing those shows he's been sending from Billy Strings?
Yes. He's been, yep.
God.
Those are fantastic.
Dude. That guy's good. It's so different than like old my brain ain't working right. Bluegrass, mm-hmm. He's combining so much different stuff.
The sounds. It again, like when you have someone that can actually take bluegrass and like make it like a more approachable for like a modern audience. Bluegrass is a tough sell for like the EDC, like the electronica, the crowd that like likes their digital music. That's like the exact opposite. Bluegrass is 100%.
He's putting the Dead, jazz, you name it. He's got some psychedelic shit going on in there and stuff. It's wild.
That's some good stuff. I don't know if you listen to Dawes much, but they always play at that big. I want to say it's like New Hampshire Bluegrass Festival, that big one up in the Northeast or whatever. And really, in the end, they're more of a kind of a rock, but they play the bluegrass thing, but he plays that steel guitar, and I'm just done, because it just has that sound. And again, when you get the bluegrass, when you mix that sound, it hits different than the
Yeah, like he told me, like I picked up that double album, that last one, Home. It's crazy. Yeah. Whew. It's like, it's a lot different than a lot of my old ass bluegrass records. I'll tell you that. It's good.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with those either, though. Like, again, so what would you say? How many say, like, vinyl wise, would you say, like, you have?
Vinyl?
Or is it just like when you say album, it's just like you listen, like we all call it album, even though it's even digital.
I just got back into vinyl a couple years ago, but
there he is.
If I had the money of all the CDs and records I own, I'd live in a lot nicer of a house,
It's like me and White Castle.
But I don't know. I've been, I hooked up with that one buddy of mine who owns that record store out in Elgin, and I've been buying a lot of records from him. And
so you've been going out to Elgin a bit, huh?
A little bit, and then
there's a lot of my DNA around that area.
I live right by Beverly Records. You ever been in that place?
That's rough.
Sounds awesome.
Have you ever been in there, Luke?
No.
If that place must have 1 million records in there.
That's awesome.
Easy. At least 1 million. It's like stacked up to the ceiling. It smells like a musty old
it smells like a record store should smell like.
Oh, it's crazy in there. But it's just so funny because, like, one time I'm in there and I'm like, I was looking for some old Buck Owens records. I'm like, where's the Buck Owens? He's like, it's in the back. And I'm like, where? He's like, go through that door. And I'm like, there's another room back here.
The adult section of the old Blockbuster.
And I open this door and there's like all these country records, like in these shelves that are like 10 feet tall and like rows, like at the Jewel.
You just kind of like dig through. Do you feel like you got to dig through? Do you feel like you have to dig through country to get to the bluegrass and the folk and the that whole genre? I feel like goes through the country section a little bit.
Well, it's all in that back room.
It's all in the back room.
Oh, it's crazy.
Same with the Weird Al and the Adam Sandler albums. No,
my dude Rich out in Elgin, his shop is really cool. It's one of the coolest record stores I've ever been in. But if you just want mass and quantity, go to Beverly.
I gotta check this out. That sounds like a museum. That doesn't sound like a record store.
It's very small, but like I said, there's got to be 1 million records in there.
That is. Oh.
If there was ever a fire, probably. I mean, that sounds awful, but it just freaks me out when you go in there. The amount of records they have in there is insane.
I bought a vinyl at a antique shop here in Vegas. It was not an antique shop. Excuse me. Scratch it. It was a used bookstore. And the lady came out, like the lady from the back came around, like, because they put like 99 cents on it. I'm like, I want to say it was cash at Folsom.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like 99 cents. I'm like, give me. Like, I have two of them. They're sitting right behind me. I bought them for $2
for 99.
She came running out. She goes, no, like I don't know. She had like a 6 cents. She's like, no. I'm like, well, I'm like, okay. I'm like, I'll give it back. And she's like, no. She's like, you bought it. I'm like, no, I can give, like, I tried to give it back. Like she felt like the transaction had completed and she didn't want to, like, at that point, she didn't want to renege. I'm like, I can give it back. Like, here. She's like, no, just take it. So now I have these two, but she didn't want to sell those records. And then it turns out that because they were legitimately, like, still sealed. I didn't realize that until I got home. I'm like, oh, well, so I have the sealed. It's unopened. The other one I opened. Sorry.
You know what's funny? So I'm amazing. So, like, occasionally there'll be like estate sales on my routes and this and that.
Smart.
People will sell everything in an estate sale. like, oh, here's Grandma's Hummels or whatever. And, oh, want to see this china cabinet that came from Germany in the 20s? 99 cents. And then if you say to them, can I see the old records? They get very protective. It's like,
whoa.
oh, I'm not selling the records. No.
You could get some really, really good sports memorabilia at estate sales.
Oh, it's just
Like some.
You know what we have here in Vegas? We have the hotel closing auctions.
Oh,
I mean, I don't want those mattresses, but you can give me those TVs. You can give me like those.
Oh wow,
they have so many things. It's crazy, like what they do here. But the TVs are like the big thing. Everyone's like, I'm gonna get like an 80-inch TV for like $30. I'm like, yeah, go for it. Have fun. That's awesome.
This one time, this nice lady was moving into like a senior, like living center, and she's like, well, I got these records in the garage. They were my son's. You could go take a look at them.
Baseball cards. Yeah, it's just this guy, Mickey Mantle.
So, like the first one right in the front is the Peter Gabriel Melting Face record. And I'm like, I scared her. I was like, how much you want for all of them? If that was the one in the front, I'll buy all of them. She's like, well, maybe he doesn't want to sell these. And I'm like, no, really. What do you want? Like $50? I'll take them all. No, like she's like, let me check with my son. And her son was probably, my age. And he's like, next time I was there, he's like, tried to get my records, huh? She was selling them. Hey, what do you want?
These guys, by the way, if you saw this show, like when I was talking about texting Chasen, when I said like, you had a great spring, and then I put it in ellipses, and I was gonna be like, until now. He's texting me. He's like, yeah. His response was, I didn't even give him a hit until today. I'm like, seriously, they wouldn't let me bust your balls beyond that. I'm like, I would have texted you until today. He's like, I was waiting for it.
It's not like you're saying you look like one of those guys that's going to be pumping gas in a couple of weeks. I mean, you could have been way worse.
No, he knows that if I don't bust his balls, there's something wrong. Like that's, if you've played for me, you know that we bust chops. Like that's the best thing to do. Like that's how you kill time. You tell someone their head looks like a half-sucked milk dud, or they look like Mr. Peepers from Saturday Night Live, or here's an apple, dude. Go. Here's a token. Go to Chuck E. Cheese, little guy. And but you're fun. It's in good taste.
You sound like you're speaking to White Sox Twitter a little bit there, kind of to a T. Like,
that's how you talk to Bonanza kids too. You just bust their chops a little bit. The Bonanza kids can handle it. They're good. We had a kid that was deaf in both ears. That was our starting shortstop that went out there and hit almost 400 and was one of the best shortstops in Las Vegas. Why? Because he had to work a second job because he went through a situation where his sister was pregnant at like 14 and his mom was single and his dad was in prison. And he was our best shortstop. Hello. That's the kids that like you sit back and you're like, this is why we do it. And you can bust their balls. They get it. They're cool. And that's actually that whole group, that kids group was actually one of the best ball buster groups ever. That kids group I made one of them got into a fight and some kid filmed it on like YouTube. And so I brought everybody 6 a.m. practice at the field. And they ran to the Rocky soundtrack until I was satisfied on loop.
Oh, I do that for my regular practices in my sport.
Yep. I'm like, you guys are ready to quit. But we're not stopping the Rocky soundtrack. Repeat. It was excellent. Those kids are good kids. Like, that's the best part. Those kids were amazing. And that's what the same kid, where KB comes from, the whole program, KB isn't necessarily representative of most of the kids that come through the Bonanza program, if that makes sense. It's a very diverse demographic at Bonanza. And so when he came through there, they call Bonanza the Mormon Gorman because like half of the population at Bonanza is pretty well to do, and they're more than likely like LDS. But then the other half of the feeder, it comes from some rough parts of Vegas, like from a rough spot. And so they all just interact. Teaching at Bonanza was one of my favorite things ever because Bonanza was a melting pot. But to see where KB came from, KB came from a school that would be considered like a South Side school. Like it's not you could get in a fight every day. I saw a kid get his head put through a drywall. I saw fights. We had a kid that buried a gun in the desert, like right outside of school. I mean, in the 90s, Bonanza had a kid get shot in the cafeteria on opening day, like gang stuff, like it rough. But he came through a place that was perfect for him, and all the mischief and all the distractions, he just isn't. And that's what a lot of these guys come through. Like, Giolito comes from his baseball program that Lucas Giolito comes from. That place is a factory for fantastic baseball players. And their coaching staff, obviously Katz was one of them too, but is fantastic. Like, he learned from some of the best high school coaches in America. They molded him into a human at that time period. They didn't let him off the hook, or they built him into a competitor too, outside of the parental part of it. And that's why I love that Katz is with the White Sox.
The other two guys he played with, they're in the MLB too, right?
Yeah. I'm trying to get so I've got Giolito and Fried in our Pinwheels League, and I've got like half the White Sox pitching staff. I'm trying to get Jack Flaherty so I can get the whole Ethan Katz squad on one team.
We just added more people, by the way. Hi, everybody. It went from like 3 people to like 10. That was fast.
Oh, nice.
11. Holy hell. Share it up. Sorry. I think it's probably my cousins or something. I can't with my parents. I don't know if my mom and dad are on here right now, but I can't. My mom, sister, and my mom. I don't know, brother. My mom, sister, and dad came on tonight. Like, did you guys hear me go? I said, "Oh crud!"
I wish my mom was here.
This is just.
Yeah, you could have sworn it would be acceptable.
The water in Vegas is extremely dirty.
Have you guys seen on Netflix The History of Swear Words? By the way,
amazing,
incredible. I watched that with my dad, by the way, and now ever since.
The F word one and then the P word.
Yeah, incredible. It was just awesome.
And Nicolas Cage is crazy.
Yeah,
he's
that
on
might
the
be
so they're still here.
That might be his best work. Is The History of Swear Words on Netflix.
He's a hoot here in Vegas. He his son's name is Kal-El, right?
It's what?
Kal-El.
Kal-El Cage.
Yep. Like as in Superman's son.
Interesting. I did not know that.
I have a friend that taught at his school, Alexander Dawson, a middle school, and there was a conflict of discipline issues. Cage has plenty of money, and my buddy went and got his doctorate in return for leaving the school. It's kind of cool. But Kal-El.
Before we run out of time here, I got to show this to Jack. I got this.
What do you got?
I got a sticker. This is my drinking mug.
So you think is that from class? Did you drink that in front of class?
What is this sticker about?
It's a rocking chair with a guitar on it.
I see
What color is the rocking chair? I can't. The camera's all jacked up. There we go. It's a red rocking
Muddy Waters?
chair.
What is it? I can barely see it.
It's a red rocking chair, like Doc Watson. So I was at a Billy Strings show. We're at a Billy Strings shirt.
Our strings.
And this guy saw that. He's like, "Oh, that's an OG Billy String shirt. Here, take this sticker." And it was a Red Rocking Chair sticker. And like 3 songs later, he came on and played Red Rocking Chair, and it was like, holy shit! Did he just like? It was like, about like. Go ahead, yeah.
I wish. Oh man, we got to get some live music back in our lives.
That's
right. Hey, so here how about this? So Bonnaroo has not announced their lineup. Lollapalooza has not announced their lineup. I don't think there's a Coachella lineup yet, but Life is Beautiful here in Vegas, which is sometimes a pretty good festival, released theirs. Other than Modest Mouse and Brittany Howard, who's fantastic. I love Alabama Shakes and just her voice in general. She's a fantastic musician. Other than that, like I was like, there is no actual non-electronica, there's no Green Day. That's it. And I'm sorry, I'm just not a huge Green Day fan. No offense. If you like them, cool, but never was a huge Green Day fan. They were my high school era's cliche. I guess I'll put it that way. And I didn't like it. And I'm like, wow. So good for them though. Like I would go see Brittany Howard. I'd go see Modest Mouse. Love them.
Now, does the guy from the Smiths still play with them or no? Johnny Marr. He was on those Modest Mouse records.
The early ones, right? You're talking about, or the
like Take
Me Out and the
boat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I would go see them, but
I would go to any concert at this point.
well, the way it looks at this is I'm looking at ACL. ACL hasn't announced either. ACL is always good, but Bonnaroo, that's like a bucket list thing for me. I want to rent an RV and just drive to Bonnaroo. That's what I really want to do. And
I would go. You know what I would do? I would go to like that random stage outside of Gate 4 at Sox games and just go stand there and watch live music and like be like, some random cover band that you've never heard of. Be like, I'm at a freaking concert right now. Hell yeah! That would work for me right about now. Like,
we have ambient music here in Vegas. And so there's a place here called the Sand Dollar that's like a blues, little kind of smoky blues bar. And so I've gotten to see at least some live music, but I mean it's just a guy playing on a Friday night at a bar. Like it's not the same.
We over the summer, for my parents' anniversary, me, my brother, my sister all pitched in and had like a backyard party at my parents' house and had a cool little bluegrass band set and like a big setup in the backyard. Small little thing. It was like maybe 10 or 15 of us, like family, friends gathered there. And it was like, I count that as a concert.
CDC regulations, if you're listening, SBI, no.
Yeah, no, that it was totally regulated, perfectly clean.
You're vaccinated too, so we didn't even care, right?
Yeah.
Are all three of us vaccinated? Are we a vaccinated crew here? Because Jack, you got vaccinated, didn't you?
Yep, got my last one last week. Second one.
Nice.
Luke, you got hit too, right? Because you got. I mean, well, I helped talk you through it. I gave you some suggestions.
Yeah, they were helpful suggestions. I will say that. It's
Did you get?
I felt it. I'm like, I'm going down for the count. I'm going to go to sleep.
What's that, Jay?
Got both of them?
I got both of them.
See, now we can go festival it up.
Getting closer. Well, that's why I'm looking forward to like opening day and baseball being back and everything. That was like I was telling you. Once they made that announcement Monday, I've been like stalking like season tickets for the last couple of years, but then now especially like
you pulled the trigger.
I pulled the trigger on Monday. I got a full plan in the 108 on the aisle, just a couple rows up on the aisle, like how those other guys are set up. And I was talking to the rep. I was messaging with him back and forth. And I was like, yeah, I see that you don't have anything in the 108 online. And he goes, yeah, well, we got some better seats for you. I'm like, no, I want to be in the 108. He goes, yeah, that's where the party's at. Do you know those guys? I'm like, well, yeah, I write some beer articles for them and stuff. He goes, oh, yeah, I knew I recognized your name. You like to run a lot too, don't you? It's like,
oh, that's cool.
So he got back to me. He got back to me within like 2 or 3 hours. He goes, yeah, I found you 2 seats right on the aisle, right by all the guys. And I was like, all right, let's do it. I mean, so
I should have did it too. I kind of wimped out on it.
It was
just as a heads up.
Oh, it's there.
They're going.
All right, we'll see ya.
So, what do you guys want? So, anyway, good luck to you guys tonight.
Yep.
I know you guys will be in there, so have some fun. We'll see you guys in the chats.
That's right. We'll see you in the comments. All right, later.
Good seeing you guys. Everybody, thanks for joining us. We'll see you guys. Check out the 108 from the 108 on YouTube right now. Selection is starting. My Sock Summer's blah, 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 but he's singing some Creed like Swollen Scott Stapp. So hands in there wearing that. He threw that Smales hat on again. So, but everybody give My Sock Summer, ask My Sock Summer to sing your favorite Creed tunes tonight. Ask him for Creed on that chat. Get in the chat. Let's go. Have a good night, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll do this again next week. This is Tainted Glove or whatever we call it next week. And we're just bridging that gap. So see you guys later. Love you guys. Take it easy.